Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here for the fixture between Everton and Burnley, the fixture that was Ancelotti's first game in charge as manager. The game ended 1-0 to Everton thanks to a Calvert-Lewin 80th minute winner on Boxing Day of 2019. Burnley travelled to Goodison Park with their last two games being 1-1 home draws against Leicester and Arsenal, points which could be vital for their survival come the end of the season. With Everton in 6th, they are looking towards the European places as they are stuck in the pack with every point counting towards either getting Europa League, Champions League or no Europe at all. It is the 14th Premier League game between these two teams, and Everton have won 5 of them at home, while Burnley have only won in the league away against Everton once. Everton have had won 3 in a row before they lost to Chelsea last Monday, and Burnley are currently 7 unbeaten in the league, drawing 5 of their last home games in the process. Will Everton build on their European hopes, or will Burnley drag themselves further away from the drop zone? Hello, we are here for Everton versus Burnley. Big game. Like I said, Burnley are currently unbeaten. In the last 7, they've drew their last 5 home games. It's better than losing. That's what I'd say. Every point counts, like I said, especially down near the relegation places. But I was very surprised when I read that the fact they were unbeaten in 7 during the last 5 home games. Obviously, the last 2 1-1, but they are coming up against an Everton side who have struggled at home this season. But they did lose. They did win their last home game against Southampton. It was a 1-0 win. Richarlison scoring that goal. Venom Mixer, hello. How are you doing? Okay. Shanu, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you could recommend this channel to anyone, that would also help out massively. Kickoff is just around 8 minutes away, and we'll get started. Get the timer ready as well. Salford are currently playing Portsmouth in the last season's EFL Trophy final, so it's kind of like an FA Cup for the teams outside the Championship of the Premier League. So it's quite a big deal. So they're playing last season's the game that was supposed to be played about a year ago, actually. So the 2019-2021. That's Portsmouth Salford. That's playing, and then this year's competition, that final's been played tomorrow. So whoever wins it today, they've got the trophy about a day, and then they've got to give it over. So that's a bit random, but yeah, the final's supposed to be played a year ago, and they've had to play it a year ahead instead. Mental. The haircut is better than before. I prefer the haircut than the cap was only on because the haircut was rubbish. That's why this is different. I've changed it to what it usually is. That's why the cap's not there. Because this wasn't what it was before. Stream lagging. I think that should just be for you. It shouldn't be lagging. That might just be you. If anyone else is in, and it is, then let me know. But it shouldn't be. That might just be you. Because when it's lagging, it usually means the data from the OBS, my streaming thing, goes. Basically, it's not getting the data it needs to run the stream. But that's all good, so it might just be you, Venom Mixer, but I'm not sure. Because I don't think it's lagging. But yeah, if it is, then there's nothing I can do because everything is working as it should be. Yeah, I'll keep you up to date that Portsmouth Salford EFL Trophy because I've been watching it. It is 0-0 currently, but it's been a very good 0-0 if you know what I mean. Lots of goal scoring opportunities. Both of the keepers, the Portsmouth and Salford keepers, have been unbelievable. But yeah. I need to focus on this game. My stream, okay, yeah, Vinomix, I think it's just yours because usually I know when my stream goes because it's happened a few times before. 3-1 Everton, my stream, okay, right, sound, yeah. So I don't know. I think there'll be goals because when I watched Burnley against Leicester, I know it was only 1-1, but Burnley did go for it. That's maybe because they were at home. Who knows? But Everton, it's not like a fact they're a mid-table club anymore. Are the Everton? They're like the last few seasons where they struggled. They've got a good manager now, settled squad to a certain degree. They've got to go for it now and start winning every game they play. Not, saying, "Oh, we can draw this game." It's not the end of the world if we draw. It's like we've got to win every single game. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to turn off that Salford game because I want to concentrate. But I will get up a tab so I can keep checking the score. Kickoff is just literally 5 minutes away. If we have a look at the lineups, I thought Everton were going to maybe divert to a back four again, but they have kept with the back three, with Godfrey, Keane and Holgate making up that back three. All English, quite young as well, 24, 28 and 23. Michael Keane being the more experienced. The former Burnley man, Michael Keane, was there for 3 years. From 2014 to 2017, played 108 games for the club, so he's very familiar with the way Burnley play. And then they've got wing backs of Digne and Alex Iwobi. And Alex Iwobi, I think on Instagram, posted publicly how he was unhappy about his playing position and how it wasn't his natural position, which was quite interesting to see. Literally on his Instagram stories publicly, so people could see, saying, I can't remember what he said, but it was basically saying that he wasn't happy about the position he's playing. I don't know if he wants to be a wing back or he wants to be an out-and-out winger, or I'm not too sure, but he's not happy. But they've got a very solid midfield three of Allen, who's returning back to the squad slowly but surely. He's played the full 90 minutes of 2 of his last 3 games he's featured in, so that's him returning to his full fitness. Davies and Gomez alongside him, absolute workhorses in that midfield. And then Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, the 2 main players. They've got all together, between them both, they've got 30 goals in all competitions between them. 18 for Calvert-Lewin, 12 for Richarlison. So they've been knowing where the net is. So can they bring that to this game? Obviously you can see the bench there. Virginia, Tyra, Coleman, Mina, and Nkuku. Is it Nkuku? I keep forgetting how you say his name. Yeah, it is Nkuku. He's on the bench as well. He's a left back. Sigurdsson, Onyango, who's a youngster. Also Broadhead, who's also a youngster. He's a left winger, 22 years of age. Actually got a hat trick this season against Manchester United's under 23s for Everton. Nathan Broadway. See if we'll see any of him in this game. And Josh King as well on loan currently from Bournemouth. It's all about Bournemouth. Eddie Howe is on the panel for one of the pundits for Sky tonight for this game anyway. And then for Burnley, standard 4-4-2, simple as you like. Solid back four. Ben Mee and Tarkowski, the usual. When they're both fit, they'll always play alongside each other. McNeil, who should be a threat down that left, and Goodmanson down the right, who's also a creative playmaker, the Icelandic right winger, now 30 years of age. Goodmanson looking for his 10th goal in the Premier League. He's playing his 111th game, so not the best of returns, but nearly a goal every 10 games or so. And then up front, still no Ashley Barnes, but they have got Chris Wood they can rely on, who's only scored 5 Premier League goals so far this season, not too many. And alongside him is Matej Vidra, who's only got 1, and that was against Leicester in a 1-1 draw. And their bench is Peacock, Farrell, Bardley, Long, Dunn, Narty, Benson, Stevens, Brady, and Jay Rodriguez. Hi again. Yes, hi Goldpuffin. I recognise you. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But was it the Everton Newcastle one? I've watched one of your streams only because I got BT. That's fine. That is honestly, that makes complete sense. You'd obviously rather want to watch the game. That's fine. Don't apologise if you're able to watch the games. It's for kind of both. It's for kind of people who can't watch the games, who need someone to listen to, and someone who might have who can watch the game but don't really like the commentators in a nice way, so they decide they want a different commentary. It's kind of for both, so don't apologise. It's good to see you got BT Sport watching the football. But yeah, Everton will check the formation. Sky have gone for a 4-3-3, and that's in the way of Godfrey, or no, it'd be Holgate. If you can see, right centre back number 4, he'd be going to right back. Digne pulling back to left back, and that Gomez, Allen, and Davies playing as 3 midfield, and then a front 3 of Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and Iwobi. So that could be Iwobi being allowed to play in his preferred position, like he said publicly, how he's not being allowed to play in his favoured position. So that could be one of the things Ancelotti's doing. So it could be a 3-5-2 or a 4-3-3. Obviously, in the first couple of minutes of the game, we'll have a look how they're setting up, what their shape is, and yeah, we'll have to just see how it goes. Obviously, we know Burnley's formation is going to be a 4-4-2. They will not change. As Captain Ben Mee is just giving a few last instructions to his players, a little bit of motivation as we're about to get underway in this game. Be interested to see how it goes. For Everton, in their last 4 games as well, only 1 team has scored in the game. So they've won 3 of their last 4. So they've either won 1-0 or 2-0, or they've lost 1-0. You know what I mean? So so that's interesting. So it's like whoever scores wins. As we do take the knee again, showing there's no room for racism in our game. See, Wilfred Zaha in the 3 o'clock kickoff decided to not take the knee, as he thinks there's different ways and there needs to be more done to stop racism in our game. He's put a statement out as well if you want to read that on his social media. As we are underway, Holgate with a throw in at the right back area for Everton, throwing it down the line up towards Calvert-Lewin, who just flick it on to Tom Davies, runs into traffic, and it gives Burnley possession of the ball with Goodmanson playing it over to the right centre back James Tarkowski. Burnley kicking left to right, Everton kicking right to left, as it is Eric Peters, the former Stoke player, playing a long ball over the top towards Vidra. Can he bring it down in the box? He can, very nicely on the left hand side of the box. Pulls it into the box for Goodmanson, whose touch is a little heavy, allows Godfrey to take it away from him. Play it back to Pickford, who clears up long up towards Calvert-Lewin, who does flick it on only as far as James Tarkowski. And here's Eric Peters again, playing it forward to Vidra. Can't take it in his stride that time, and it falls to Michael Keane. He plays it back to Jordan Pickford. Clears first time up down the right hand side for Calvert-Lewin to give chase. He'll let it run, and he'll get Everton up the pitch. So as a Newcastle fan, I'll be supporting Everton just because Newcastle still have a chance of catching Burnley in the league. 100%. Newcastle obviously they'll be disappointed that they didn't get the 3 points last night, but the fact that we were able to nick a point in the 94th minute, wasn't it, Lascelles' header, I think still a really positive result for Newcastle. Like, every point matters. So big result. So obviously you want Everton to win this game because, you know, if Burnley, who are unbeaten in their last 7, if they can maybe start losing a few games, if you're a Newcastle fan, Brighton fan, Fulham fan, then, you know, obviously you'll take that 100%. As I've got Michael Keane on the ball for Everton to Tom Davies. Interesting how we're playing it. It's looking a little bit more narrow, the Everton formation. Iwobi looks a lot more central. It's maybe a centre attacking midfielder. It looks like a diamond formation for Everton, a 4-1-2-1-2 with Allen playing as the holding midfielder, Iwobi playing in behind Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Tom Davies and Gomez just playing to the right and left of Allen. So that's quite interesting, as Iwobi's been given the ball and he keeps it in possession, plays it back to Godfrey, who's been playing left back and right back all of this season. Ben Godfrey's played 2 at right back, 8 at left back, and 10 at centre back. So he's been playing everywhere, Ben Godfrey, but he's in his natural centre back position today as Iwobi gives it forward to Richarlison, around 25 yards away from goal on the right hand side of the box. He's going to pull the trigger as he enters the box. Good save from Nick Pope up to his left hand side, and he parries the ball away for a corner. Shows the sharpness of Richarlison there, receiving the ball back to goal, allowed to turn on the half turn. On 25 yards out, he just decided to keep sprinting because Burnley players were backing off from him, and the Brazilian took the chance to pull the trigger towards the near post, but Nick Pope was equal to it, as Nick Pope looks for his 10th clean sheet of the Premier League season so far, currently on 9. And here is Luca Digne to take an in-swinging corner for Everton. Can they make this count as it's crossed into the box and headed away, I think, by James Tarkowski, and Michael Keane will look to keep it in play on the left-hand side for Everton. Back to Gomez towards the halfway line to Allen, who's the furthest back, and press from Burnley forces him back to Jordan Pickford, who has all the time in the world on the edge of his box to pick a pass as he decides to dink it over to that right-hand side where Holgate is positioned. Back to Godfrey as Burnley are back into their position from the corner into their 4-4-2. And here's Pickford almost in the left-back area as Burnley are not pressing Everton so far. And he's able to get the switch over to Holgate. Brings it down, fails to release the pass, and he's tackled by Dwight McNeil, who can win the ball back for Burnley and keep it with Eric Peters. Westwood to McNeil. Forward to Chris Wood, who's in the Everton half. Back to Westwood, too much on it, and a heavy touch allows Gomez to take the ball away for Everton. Digne at left back, the Frenchman. Here's Ben Godfrey. He's yet to win against Burnley when playing them. He's attempted to beat them 3 times, twice for Norwich and once for Everton, and they've yet to beat them. Ben Godfrey, he plays it back to Jordan Pickford, who's kept 4 clean sheets in 9 appearances against Burnley, so nearly 50% of clean sheets in games against Burnley. This is Alex Iwobi forward to Gomez as we're in the Burnley half, and all the outfield players for Burnley are inside their own half defending this Everton spell of possession. I wouldn't say an attack yet because they're just keep giving each other the ball, kind of getting a feel for the ball and possession. But I'm sure an attack will mount very soon when they start to speed up their play a little bit, which will happen pretty soon. You know, they've got the players for it. They've got the ball playing players. You know, your Andre Gomez, yeah, Tom Davies, Alex Iwobi, all creative players. And here's Tom Davies on the right-hand side of the three central midfielders. That's Michael Keane. It's Ben Godfrey again, number 22 for Everton, signed in the summer from Norwich. And they're also looking at Norwich right-back Max Aarons, been targeted by Manchester United in the summer. In last summer anyway, as Burnley have gotten the ball back from a misplaced pass from Everton. It's Nick Pope to clear it upfield. There's that spell of possession out of the way for Everton. As Chris Woods knocked it down for Vidra, who again overruns it and allows Everton to win the ball back, and they can already get it back to Jordan Pickford to restart. Obviously, there'll be a lot of possession play for Everton, so if they do lose it a couple of times, it's not going to be the end of the world. They'll get a lot of chances to knock the ball about and try and force opportunities, because, you know, they've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, who hasn't scored in the last 4 Premier League games that he's played in. I don't think he scored in his last 6, but for 2 of those games he was injured and out of the squad. As you look for him in behind, and it has to be a sweeper-keeper move from Nick Pope to head it out for a throw-in to keep it away from the Sheffield-born striker. It's Mason Holgate on the right-hand side with a throw. Throws it into Tom Davies, who turns and is pushed to the ground by Dwight McNeil and is conceding the foul there. Dwight McNeil as well from behind, as Tom Davies did turn him nicely, and he was looking forward and looking to charge into the box there with the ball, number 26, and Dwight McNeil didn't allow him to do so, just caught him from behind, and referee Jonathan Moss decides that is a free kick for Everton on the right hand side. That's interesting you say that, goal puffing, because he's actually a Liverpool fan. Sorry, I've answered it for him, I don't know why. Well, here's Andre Gomez. Crosses it in towards Ben Godfrey. It's an important flick away by Matej Vidra, doing his defensive duties, the striker. Just being able to flick the ball behind for a corner before it got to the head of Ben Godfrey, who is yet to score in an Everton shirt. But Liverpool do need Everton to lose today. That's the situation Liverpool are in. They need teams from 8th to 4th, well, to 3rd to be dropping points. It's Luca Digne with an out-swinging corner this time on the opposite side, swings it in, and it's headed away, but it falls to the edge box to Tom Davies, who strikes it with the left foot, deflects away to Mason Holgate on the right, who clips it back in, headed away by Brownhill. And here's Allen, who again's the furthest back, looks to chip it towards Holgate in the right wing position. He's being nudged to the ground by Eric Peters. The referee says there's not much there for him to do about that, and decides the throw-in's the right option for Burnley. Mason Holgate disagreeing, but he has to get on with the game. There's Eric Peters in the left-back area. If you're putting in the chat, I will read them in the end. Don't think I'm ignoring, because I do like it when people put the stuff in the chat. As Chris Wood plays it inside to Ben Mee, who can clear under pressure, but it goes only as far as Ben Godfrey, who can have it now for Everton as they restart. Thoughts on Leeds? Decent team. I like the way they play. I think they'll be absolutely fine staying in the division now for quite a long time, as Richarlison's got it from Digne. Looks to try and repay the services there of Digne to get him in behind, but he's been cut out by James Tarkowski. Quick from back to front there from Everton. But I like Bielsa. I like the players they've got. Good team. Liverpool, sorry, I have to support Everton today. Well, if you're a Newcastle fan, anyone in that bottom 5, you need to be hoping Everton can take all 3 points. As Iwobi's received the throw-in. Goes inside to Tom Davies. To Michael Keane. Good press here from Burnley as they push up the pitch, forcing Everton back to their goalkeeper Pickford on the edge of the box. Clears it long towards the right-hand side where Dominic Calvert-Lewin has to let it run over his head, and he will give chase to Eric Peters as he sees it out very nicely there. Eric Peters for a throw-in. Calvert-Lewin was wanting the throw-in for Everton, but I don't think it touched the Dutch left-back last. Playing his 49th game, Eric Peters for Burnley, 1 away from 50. Flicked on by Chris Wood. Only as far as Everton, as Allen pokes it towards Tom Davies. He gets there ahead of the challenge of Eric Peters and gets it to Calvert-Lewin, to Tom Davies, back heel to Calvert-Lewin. On the far right-hand side, not in his usual position, Calvert-Lewin is usually in the box, but he's able to find it to Holgate. Iwobi Nice switch of the play to the left-hand side to Digne. Now 25 yards away from goal. Everton have to get past a lot of yellow shirts with the brown shorts. It's a diagonal switch towards Richarlison. Bounces off his head last, but he can chase it and keep it in play, looking for Digne, but it's Goodmanson doing his defensive duties as he gets it to his right back, who tries to clear up the line, but it cannons off, I think, the stomach of Luca Digne last, and it goes for a goal kick for Burnley. We need to put Newcastle, unfortunately. I mean, Newcastle are a big, big team, and I think a change of manager, because you've definitely got the players. I think you've got a really healthy squad. I think if the players were used in the right way and were coached the right way in an attacking style, Eddie Howe, I think you'd be definitely not in a relegation scrap for sure. I just think it's the management and the way Steve Bruce plays. I just think it's a bit outdated and not what Newcastle need as a club. Nick Pope does eventually take the goal kick. It's a long kick up towards Vidra, who can't win the flick on, up towards Chris Wood, and it will go all the way to Pickford. That's how long that kick was. One bounce and it went straight into the hands of Pickford, who's in the full pink kit today. He rolls it out to Godfrey, back to Pickford in his 6-yard box. First time ball up towards the right back, and it just about gets to Holgate as he's chased down by McNeil, but a poor pass from Holgate can be cut out by Chris Wood, but its touch is too heavy, and it falls for a throw-in for Everton in the defensive final third, as Holgate's being required to move back a little bit as he tried to gain a few yards for the throw. For that EFL Trophy final, Portsmouth-Salford, that has gone to penalties. I'll let you know what happens there. It's Michael Keane with the ball. He'll let Pickford try and take over as he's had to dribble it inside the box there, Pickford, as he was just on the edge and Chris Wood was chasing him down, so he had to do it quickly. He's rolled it to Godfrey, into Gomez. First time pass to Allen as he scoops it towards Holgate. First time ball down the line up towards Calvert-Lewin. Too much on it. Falls to Ben Mee. McNeil inside to Josh Brownhill. Heavy touch and Iwobi can tackle him and it will trickle over to Andre Gomez. Plays it forward to Richarlison. He's going to run at the Burnley defence on the edge of the box. Slips it through towards Calvert-Lewin. Too much on it. Nick Pope's there on the edge of his 6-yard box. As a sliding Calvert-Lewin looked to get a foot onto the ball to divert it goalwards. But just too much pace on the ball from Richarlison and Nick Pope could come and collect confidently. And avoid any real chance there for Everton. So we are still 0-0. So Godfrey wins a towering header. And Gomez has to try and do the same for Everton. And he lets it come down and Allen pokes it towards Richarlison. He enters the Burnley half. Drifting towards the left-hand side once again. He plays back to Digne. Forward to Gomez. Has to work it back to Digne. And it's to Ben Godfrey. Inside the Everton half. He's playing a little bit deeper with possession here, Everton, as he goes over to Michael Keane. Forward to Tom Davies, being pressured here by Josh Brownhill, and he wins it fairly, says the referee. And Chris Wood plays it forward to Dwight McNeil, down the byline. He looks for the cross. It's deflected off Michael Keane to Chris Wood into the bottom right corner. And the New Zealand international bags for Burnley. And they take the lead at Goodison Park, caught out in possession. And it's pounced on by Burnley. A scuffed clearance from Michael Keane fell to Chris Wood. And he scored his 6th goal in the Premier League this year to give Burnley a very important away lead in a game that you feel like they need to get all 3 points, especially with Newcastle dropping points last night and Fulham in a rich vein of form. You feel if they want to survive, they need to be getting all the points they can get. And if you're going to be gifted them like they were there by Tom Davies just being too slow in possession, then they're going to take that all day long. They had to work for it with a build-up, but in terms of winning the ball back, it was good play from Josh Brownhill, but too lazy and too sloppy from Tom Davies. Easy collection from the midfielder, and they broke away, worked its way in the end due to a poor Michael Keane clearance to Chris Wood, composed himself, placed it into the bottom right corner. Jordan Pickford rooted to the spot, and Burnley take the lead. Everton 0, Burnley 1, as we're already underway with Goodmanson down the right-hand side for Burnley, trying to take on Godfrey and Allen, and he's going to look to get past Godfrey with a heavy touch, but too much strength from the centre-back, and he can play it back to Pickford, who clears first time up towards Calvert-Lewin, tackled by Tarkowski on the halfway line. He turns Gomez, great play from the centre-half, to his central midfielder Ashley Westwood. Goodmanson back to Matt Lowton. Ball high in the sky for Chris Wood to try and flick on, but it's Godfrey who has to head away with precaution out for a throw-in in the final third for Burnley. Change the scoreline. What a shock! Ben Godfrey there having to head the ball away, but it's Tom Davies who gave the ball away really sloppily. Good play from Josh Brownhill to pressure him and to take the ball away, but Tom Davies should have done a lot better and just tried to get rid of it if possible. The throw-in's been taken up towards Westwood, cleared away by Tom Davies, up towards Calvert-Lewin, header won by Ben Mee. And Burnley have it back with Eric Peters, out wide left to McNeil. Looking backwards where he'll have to give it to Ben Mee. Left-footed pass forward. And McNeil's got it back in the end. Can he take on Allen? He can. He's got to beat Mason Holgate, the right back, but he's a strong tackle by the defender, and Allen has it back for Everton. On the edge of the box is Ben Godfrey. Did you listen to Bruce's interview after the match yesterday? Even the way he talks so negative. Yeah, I can't believe he's still the manager, to be honest. Such a big club like Newcastle shouldn't be stuck with a manager like Steve Bruce. You know, like Colin Morgan from Merlin. I have no idea who that is. I'm going to have to check that. Oh, hold on, let me get more images up. As Everton still have the ball, working out from the back with Michael Keane. Using the right hand side this time. Holgate. Back to Keane just on the halfway line. Michael Keane. 7 goals in a Burnley shirt. Keane in his days at Burnley. Here's Iwobi. Not really being forced any further forward than the midfield. Everton, they can't get it to their front men at the minute. Andre Gomez will try. Plays it over to Iwobi. Further left it is to Digne, who's pushing up the pitch. Back to Iwobi. Forward to Calvert-Lewin. First time touch to Tom Davies. Flicks it down for Richarlison on the edge of the box. He's now in the box on the left-hand side. Looks to get a cross in. Deflects up in the air for Iwobi to bring down and for Everton to keep possession. So Iwobi's trying the right-hand side this time with Michael Keane. Pushing up. Finding Holgate. Left-footed ball inside to Iwobi. Tries to take it on the turn and turn past Brownhill. He's able to make the space to get it back to Holgate, who will work the cross to the far post, where it's asking a lot of Digne to keep it in towards the corner flag, but he does do so, the former Barcelona man, and he works across in himself up towards Richarlison. Can't quite bring it down. It will fall over to McNeil in the left-back area, where he'll have to clear down the line up towards Vidra. Can't head it on to a Burnley man. And Everton again have the ball with Godfrey. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I've just got images up. I didn't know who you were on about. Because we're back with the football anyway, and Everton have lost possession in that midfield again, like the Iwobi area and the Tom Davies area. They can't quite work it to Richarlison. They have maybe once or twice, but he's had to go alone once getting the ball as Burnley clear it down the line. Where Michael Keane can just see it out for a throw-in as they look down the left channel. But yeah, throw-in the right back area for Everton. So throw it down the line, and it's been worked to Gomez, Iwobi. Gomez is going to go from right to left with a dinked ball over to Digne. Brought down by the Frenchman. Can he take on Matt Lowton? He looks to go around him in the end, but Matt Lowton says, no, I will have that ball from you, and he will have the throw-in in reward of his good defending. Matt Lowton scored in the recent win against Crystal Palace, a 3-0 away win. It was his first goal since 2016. That was against MK Dons when Burnley were in the Championship, and they actually won the Championship that year. Burnley in the 2015-16 season, the same year Leicester won the Premier League. That was under Sean Dyche. Goodmanson, the right winger, back to Westwood, around the corner, looking for Vidra. It's Pickford who has to rush out and collect the ball, or Vidra had a chance at goal there, but Pickford said no to that and was able to collect and set his team out on an attack as Holgate's already been given the ball, played down the line first time towards Davies, can't quite get there ahead of Ben Mee in a crunching tackle, sends it away for a throw for Everton as they're taking it quickly already to Michael Keane. Across to Ben Godfrey, and Everton have only scored 3 or more goals in a Premier League game once in the new year, and that was a 3-3 away draw to Manchester United, as Tom Davies this time has been fouled instead of just losing possession, like for the goal. But yeah, they've not scored too many goals in 2021, only scored 3 or more once. So a lot of times they've scored only 2 goals in a game, as they'll need to do that to try and turn this game around on its head. As Richarlison's been met with a crunching tackle by Ben Mee on the edge, but they're going to play advantages. Holgate gets a crossing, deflects off Brownhill towards their keeper, Nick Pope, and he can collect the ball, as Richarlison will be okay, but it was a strong challenge, and the defender there for Burnley didn't win the ball, but the advantage was on, and Jonathan Moss had all right to play on. It was actually a collision of Ben Mee and Dwight McNeil, a bit of a sandwich there for Richarlison. As there is one of them, Dwight McNeil on the ball. Has to go back to Ben Mee, working together again. As he clips it down the left channel, up towards Chris Wood. Can't win the header on Michael Keane, and it will fall to Tom Davies. An offside, they're going to go back to an offside on Chris Wood anyway. Because Tom Davies was a little bit stuck for space there anyway, so I think Everton will prefer the free kick as they've got the ball moving again with Ben Godfrey. I think I've said his name too many times so far, the left centre-back for Everton, as he's just inside the Everton half. Just to look back towards Allen, who's just gone in between the two centre-halves. The number 6, signed from Napoli. Plays it forward to Richarlison, who's allowed to take it on the half-turn again and charge forward and play it into space for Luca Digne. On the byline, works the cross, blocked off by Matt Lowton, but will fall back to Digne as he goes inside to Andre Gomez. Poor ball towards Richarlison, can be cleared by Burnley. Look towards Vidra, can't win it against Michael Keane, who finds Mason Holgate with a bit of room on the right-hand side. Has to be forced back to Michael Keane as he goes over to Godfrey, just above the halfway line in the Burnley half. Allen. Godfrey forward to Gomez. To Digne, who's already got 6 assists so far this season. They'll be looking for him to supply the crosses today. Try and get some goals. It's Allen who charges forward and plays it towards Richarlison. He tackles Tarkowski, who did intercept the pass, and tries to roll it in towards Calvert-Lewin in the box, but it's been intercepted and can be cleared now by Eric Peters. I know he actually decides to turn and go back to Nick Pope, who will then try and clear in the end. Takes his time and eventually clears it up the field, up towards Chris Wood, who brings it down beautifully. 2 strikers here for Burnley. The only men forward is Chris Wood, works it on his own and had to be deflected away in the end by Godfrey for a corner. That was well too easy for Chris Wood. A long punted ball forward. It allowed to be bounced onto his chest, and he would turned, faced the Everton goal and sprinted towards Jordan Pickford, and in the end, from the edge of the box, took a pop shot and a deflected defensive action from Godfrey, turned it behind for a corner. Too easy that for Chris Wood to get a shot away. Shouldn't have been that easy, but at least Godfrey deflected it away in the end. We know how good Burnley are from corners, scoring them especially. Even though they are second lowest scorers in the league this season, they are still a threat from set pieces. It's gone right towards that back post where Ben Mee's headed it back, or tried to head it back towards the 6-yard box, but it's just headed out for a goal kick, as Ben Mee does argue his case that should have been another corner and it didn't come off him last. Let's have a look. Went towards the back post. Came off the arm of Mason Holgate and out for what was given a goal kick. Should have been a corner. I'm not sure if it came off his arm, but it was the elbow. Basically, where Ben Mee was trying to head it, it actually hit the elbow of Holgate and went for a goal kick. Should have really been a corner at least. Not sure a penalty would have been fair. Would have been very harsh, but a corner at least. But it doesn't matter because Everton have lost the ball because they've given away a free kick to Burnley in their left-back area. They're just checking this for handball. Came off his arm. You could say that's unnatural, as he was kind of using the arm as leverage to get the jump. But he was also looking to, I don't know if he was looking to do it, but he nearly caught Ben Mee in the face with an elbow. It came off that bit of his arm, like the centre bit there, if you can see that. So a case is there for Burnley, for sure, but nothing was given in the end. Digne heads away that free kick, Burnley won. Well, as far as Brownhill, who can only head it as far as Gomez. Can't complete 1-2 with Richarlison. They lose the ball. It's now Goodmanson, number 7. Matt Lowton tries to go down the line. It was Vidra who's peeled away to the right-hand side, who takes it under his control and has to work away from the pressure of Godfrey. Can't turn the centre-back, but it forced to Matt Lowton. Vidra inside to Dwight McNeil, who's gone over from the left to the right-hand side, takes on Allen and decides to shoot. Oh, my days! Dwight McNeil, the former Manchester United academy prospect, has burst onto the scene the last couple seasons for Burnley, and he is really showing the potential he's got in his locker. What a goal! He drifted from the left-hand side over to the right-hand side on the edge of the box, took on Allen, shifted onto that stronger left foot, saw that there was an angle there to try and bend it to the far corner, and he saw that angle and attempted to fit it through to the top left-hand side of the goal. And he's done just that. Chops into his right, back out onto his left, shoots towards that top left corner. Pickford with absolutely no chance. It's an absolute rocket. With the curl, it's got everything, that shot. And that's got to be up there with definitely goal of the month. Right into the top left corner. You could not ask for any more precision from the left winger. And he doubles Burnley's lead within 25 minutes. And what a performance we've got so far from Sean Dyche's men. It's Everton 0, Burnley 2. They've struggled this season, Everton, winning at home. 9 of their 14 wins they've got this season have come away from home. That's only 5 home wins. And it's showing the struggle they've had at home. Struggle to get going. And if players like Dwight McNeil are going to be scoring goals like that, then that just makes it an even tougher challenge for Everton. What a goal. Unbelievable. Did not expect that. Right into the top left corner. Unbelievable. Everton 0. Burnley 2. Dwight McNeil scoring. Only his 7th Premier League goal in his career. And that's after now playing his 87th game in the Premier League. It's his 2nd goal of the season in all competitions, both coming in the Premier League. What a way to do it. What a way to double your tally. As Allen's got it for Everton in the midfield. Can't quite work it to Iwobi. It's been cut out again and they're going to charge forward. It's Goodmanson. They've got men over here. Goodmanson on the edge of the box. Decides to shoot himself off the post. Pickford was beaten. Falls to Tom Davies, who tries to clear again. Deflects off Goodmanson last and can fall nicely to a Burnley player. And it's Dwight McNeil. Tries to cross it early. Headed away by Michael Keane. Only as far as Goodmanson, who can try and help it back in. Headed away by Michael Keane. And then falls to Ashley Westwood, who helps it back forward to Dwight McNeil, who's been fouled by Holgate, and a great chance to get a crossing on the left-hand side. To maybe cause more danger, Pickford may have picked up an injury here. But again, sloppy possession, can't get it up front to the Everton players. McNeil played it forward to Goodmanson. He probably should have played it into Vidra, but wanted to shoot himself on the edge. And this went along the ground instead of McNeil's, which was lifted into the top left corner. He looked for the bottom left corner, beat Pickford, but couldn't beat the post. And as he's dived there, Pickford, I think he may have landed awkwardly on his right hip. I hope he's okay, the England number 1, because he's currently his challenger for the number 1 spot in England, keeping the clean sheet at the minute, Nick Pope. Gonna have to get a bit of ice on it there. He hopefully should be okay. But Goodmanson coming close, but what a performance from Burnley. They did win 3-0 away at Crystal Palace this season. Like I said, they're the lowest scoring team, 2nd lowest scoring team, joint with West Brom. Obviously that's changed now, because they've scored 2 extra, as the substitute keeper for Everton is currently warming up. João Virginia did spend some time at Benfica Academy and Arsenal's Academy before joining Everton in 2018. But Pickford's back on his feet and I think he should be okay. What a game, what a performance from Burnley. Really didn't expect this. But when I watched them against Leicester, they were attacking and they were positive in their play. So this really kind of doesn't surprise me in a way. As Pickford is going to be okay and we're going to have the free kick here. It's been crossed in and flicked on. I think it was by an Everton player in the end and it's fell all the way through for a corner. I think it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the man to head it away. Crossed in swinger by Ashley Westwood, and as it nearly got to the head of Chris Wood, who was looking to guide that home, a flick away by Calvert-Lewin was actually a key act in the end to allow Chris Wood to not get a header on goal. As we're going to have another Burnley corner, an in-swinger again from McNeil. Crosses it in again towards the back post where Ben Mee can head it up in the air and can be seen out for a corner. Can it? No, it's been kept in by Brownhill up towards the edge of the box where Iwobi can clear. As far as Tom Davies' chest, who can chest it straight to Matt Lowton. Back to Peters on the halfway line. A long ball forward to Vidra on the right-hand side in the final third. Plays it back towards McNeil. No, he doesn't. He keeps going himself. Vidra goes inside to Westwood. Now's McNeil on the ball. Has to try and look back towards his defenders, cut out by Richarlison, and wins a throw-in for his team, McNeil. What a performance, seriously. McNeil having an absolute stormer. It's Brownhill helping it down the line from the throw-in. Header won by Goodmanson, and it's going to be Allen to try and see it out for a goal kick, as he's been pressured by Vidra. but he has been able to do his job in the end. And Pickford, who's I think still just trying to shake off that little injury knock he's got, will take the goal kick. As Salford won the EFL trophy against Portsmouth. Wow, 4-2 on penalties. Unbelievable. It's Pickford to Tom Davies as they're being played out from the back and they've been squeezed there, Everton, and they've lost the ball with Ashley Westwood. A first time cross towards the back stick where Pickford's struggling. I don't think he'll be able to continue. He's rolled it out and he's really feeling the pain of that injury, but he has got it to Iwobi in the end, who's entered the Burnley half and looks to Digne on the left hand side. Back inside towards Allen. It's all 11 Burnley players are behind the ball already. Tom Davies. Just a clip ball to the left to Digne. Going to go for an early cross up towards Calvert-Lewin. It's met by the right foot of Ben Mee and cleared away for a throw for Digne. What a win for Salford. Big trophy to win in EFL trophy. If you're a League 1 or League 2 team, it's a trophy you want to win. But they'll only be holding the trophy for a day because this year's competition's final is being played tomorrow. And again, Digne's lost it there from the throw-in. Can't keep it for Everton. And they've searched for Vidra up front, but it's Godfrey who brings it away in the end. And Davies works it to Holgate. Good defending there from Godfrey in the end to take the ball away from Burnley. And here's Iwobi, who's not quite had the impact he would have liked playing in his preferred position. It's more central. He's been allowed to drift that wide as well, like he is now on the right hand side. Goes over to Allen. Back to Michael Keane. Tom Davies with the socks lowered and the shin pads lowered as well. Bit of a Grealish style. Michael Keane, left-footed ball out wide to Holgate, who isn't really a right back by trade, more of a centre back. Plays it down the line to Iwobi, who again, like I said, he's been allowed to drift and he's got it inside to Tom Davies, who then works across the Calvert-Lewin, heads it home. I think he's onside. Big goal from the big striker to get Everton back in the game. Cuts the deficit from 2-1. And it's a well-worked goal. Down the line to Iwobi. Tom Davies pushed forward and he was found by Iwobi. Really zipped in across. Matt Lowton, the right back at the back post, played Calvert-Lewin onside and allowed him to have a free header as Ben Mee and Tarkowski pushed up. It allowed Calvert-Lewin to just gain an extra yard on the defenders to be unmarked and power the header home past Nick Pope. And we've got another goal at Goodison Park. It's Everton 1, Burnley 2. As Iwobi's already got it again on the right-hand side. Can he keep it? He can with a nice turn on Dwight McNeil. It's now Davis. It's Michael Keane. What a game we've got. 3 goals already. Didn't expect this. This is Godfrey. Dribbling it forward and just playing it behind Digne, but his right foot is able to keep the ball in play. There's Allen. That will give Everton confidence now. Gomez forward to Richarlison. He's got him behind the midfield. He's got the defence to try and run at, and he's gone for a curling shot towards the far post. But Nick Pope again equal to it. Just didn't quite get the power that was required to try and beat Nick Pope there, Richarlison. Got in between the line of the midfield and defence. And James Tarkowski was closing him down. He had to think quick and he thought the shot was the best option, but in the end couldn't quite finish the job off. Burnley have lost the ball as Dwight McNeil couldn't quite take the ball in his stride. Pickford seems to be okay now. He's just, I think that injury is definitely halting him up a little bit, I think, as Calvert-Lewin chested it down to Iwobi. It's a foul there. I think Iwobi may have gone in with the elbow as he was challenging the Burnley players. But big goal from Calvert-Lewin. It's his 3rd goal against Burnley. Scored the equaliser. No, not the equaliser. Yeah, he scored the equaliser in the reverse fixture at Turf Moor, which ended 1-1. Robbie Brady put Burnley up in the 3rd minute. And then in the 3rd minute of added on time in the first half, Calvert-Lewin scored to equal the game. Not quite done the same here, but he's at least cut the deficit, like I said. The free kick's been cleared away up towards Tarkowski, but it's fell to Westwood, who volleys it forward, but it's deflected to Andre Gomez, who looks to try and set a breakaway on, but his pass is just too heavy and Iwobi can't keep it on. And it'll be a throw-in for Burnley on their left-hand side around the halfway line. Okay, Tarkowski's asking for something. I'm not sure what he's asking for. Let's see here. The ball was clipped into the box here. James Tarkowski gone for it, and he's just been blocked off there by Gomez. Wasn't going for the ball in the box, and once that's a penalty. VAR definitely can't give that. It's Ben Mee. His clearance is not gone too far, and it's an Everton throw-in inside the Burnley half. Ball's been given to Iwobi to take, and he throws it with an underarm throw to Holgate, because he's going to be the one to actually take the throw-in. Plays a long one into midfield towards Allen, who has to go back to Ben Godfrey. Over towards Michael Keane. Holgate down the line to Iwobi. Can he find a ball inside? And he's going to keep dribbling away from the pressure of Eric Peters and has to force it all the way back to Pickford, who seems to have ran off that little bit of a injury that he picked up on his, I think, right hip as he dived for a Goodmanson shot that hit the post. Glad Everton are getting back into it, but why does Calvert-Lewin only score after I sell him on FPL? I know, oh, so true. I'm having a shocker on FPL. I've just given up. I haven't given up, but I want to give up. As Iwobi's been caught in possession in that midfield, taking too long on it. Dwight McNeil brings it away to Goodmanson. Past Allen, plays it through to Vidra, lays it off for Dwight McNeil. Important block. Loops in the sky where Chris Wood will try and keep it alive. Pushed in the back by Holgate. How has that not been given a foul? Holgate's allowed to clear. Godfrey jumping in the way to get in front of that as Dwight McNeil's got it here for Burnley. Tries to get it forward towards Brownhill. Michael Keane can see it away and clear up towards Calvert-Lewin, who doesn't quite keep it on. Or does he? He does. Well, let's see this Godfrey block here. Dwight McNeil, who was looking for his second of the game. Godfrey, who did hit his hand, but it was behind his body. As Goodmanson's here, got the free header and headed over the bar as they cut from the replay to a Goodmanson header that maybe should have done better with. I know he's only the height of, well, to be fair, he's around the height of 6 foot. McNeil looking for a second there. Big block from Godfrey, throwing himself in front of it. Calvert-Lewin brings it down from the long kick forward, and he's been pulled down, and Westwood's got to be booked there. Yeah, free kick and a booking for the Burnley player. The vice captain, you could say, because at the start of the season when they were out, when they were without Tarkowski and Ben Mee, he took that captain's armband, but he's pulled down Calvert-Lewin there. Actually, Westwood picking up his 6th booking. Dangerous area as well, this for Everton to get a cross in. Maybe I don't think a shot's on. It's on the right hand side for Everton. Digne's over it and Gomez. Gomez yet to score this season, only the 1 assist as well, so we'll be looking to add to that tally. Be Digne or Gomez. Digne runs over it and Gomez crosses it in towards Calvert-Lewin again and just over the bar. A free header, like the one he'd already scored. And he'll look back at that and think he probably should have done a little bit better. Crossed in, got in between Chris Wood and Ben Mee. Flicked the header up towards the back post where it was looping and curling just over the bar. And hit the framework just behind the goal. And Burnley survive as they want to try and keep this lead up till a half time at least. Obviously they want to see through to the full 90 minutes, but just getting in at half time will be good for Sean Dyche's men. Nick Pope clears the ball forward towards the Burnley left. Can't be flicked on by Chris Wood, but can be headed away by Holgate. Away for a throw-in for Burnley. Like Peters on the halfway line to take. Where's he going to throw this to? He's got options: Dwight McNeil, Chris Wood. Not much movement, to be fair. Really not much movement. He's thrown it in the end to Dwight McNeil, who's moved closer to him, and he's spun at Iwobi, plays it down the line, back inside for Burnley. They've worked to Goodmanson in the end after a string of passes, and he's on the edge of the box. He drifted from right to left, and he lays it off of Dwight McNeil, pulls it back to the edge to Westwood. Once more to Brownhill. Does he fancy a strike? Yes, he does, and another key block off the head of Godfrey. Sends it away for another corner. But Everton, defensively, I say defensively, it's not even the defence's fault, it's more the midfield. Midfield constantly giving the ball away, slow to work back, and they're just leaving their defence stranded, and it's meaning Godfrey having to block so many shots and having to do so much work I wouldn't really put too much of the blame on the defence because the midfield's been shocking for Everton. Obviously, I know they're missing Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's out for about 10 weeks with a broken bone in his foot, I think it is, as Allen heads away the corner, but goes straight back to the corner taker. Now with McNeil. Can't quite take on Iwobi, and the ball falls to Tom Davies in the end, and back forward to Iwobi, inside to Calvert-Lewin, who looks to try and break away. It's a heavy touch and can be tackled by Goodmanson, and Brownhill takes over, takes it in his stride, tries to lay it forward towards Vidra, but Gomez is the one to bring it away from him, and eventually gets it to to Digne in the end, the Everton captain for today, the number 12, playing his 90th Premier League game. He's just hit the milestone of 100 games for Everton against Chelsea. This is Ben Godfrey already making multiple key blocks for Everton. Allen's curled it over towards Michael Keane, towards Iwobi on the right. Been told by Ancelotti to play it back towards Michael Keane because there's not much on ahead of him for Iwobi, the Nigerian. He's making his 150th Premier League appearance. 50 of them for Everton. It's Godfrey to Pickford, has to clear down the line, and it's curled it to keep it in play, but straight to Matt Lowton, the Burnley right back, who's worked it past Digne and plays it forward to Goodmanson. Can't quite lay it back off to Lowton as Allen's the first one to the ball, as he looks to bring it away down the left hand side, and outside of the boot ball, looking in behind for Calvert-Lewin. What a pass! Calvert-Lewin brings it down, but it's a good recovery challenge from Peters, as Calvert-Lewin looked to flick the ball over his head to give him the best chance, but Peters wouldn't allow it, as Burnley looked to break away with a long diagonal ball from right hand side to the left, but too much on it, and will go behind for a goal kick. Great play from Allen. What a ball from the left hand side, curling it inside. Calvert-Lewin brought it down. A strong challenge from Eric Peters allowed him to not get the shot away as he looks to get his second goal of the game. Down at Calvert-Lewin, and I think the injury has got to Pickford. He's back down again. He's really struggling, and it's kind of a self-inflicted injury. It really is, because it was not a collision with a player. It's a dive he did that's ended the injury. But they're going to have to call upon João Virginia, number 31. He's played 7 games in all competitions this season, 6 of them coming in the under-23s Premier League. And it's from the Goodmanson shot as he's hit the post. He's dived and he's obviously landed awkwardly on his side. And I hope it's not a serious injury for Pickford, because the Euros are coming up. But if not, we have got Nick Pope. But there we go. Jordan Pickford, I'm presuming that'll be one of the first times he's been substituted in his career. Jordan Pickford, especially club-wise anyway. And wow, just before half-time, Pickford's injured, and João Virginia making his first ever Premier League appearance. He's only ever made one first-team appearance for Everton, and that was this season in the Carabao Cup against Salford in the early stages of that competition, keeping the clean sheet that night. What a chance for the youngster. Joined from Arsenal in 2018, and he's got a point to prove now. The 21-year-old Portuguese goalkeeper, as he's got his first touch to the ball with the clearance from the goal kick, straight to Calvert-Lewin. That's a good start. But Calvert-Lewin can't get it back to Mason Holgate, the right back, and Burnley has a throw-in. That's why you prepare and do notes for every player. I've done the full notes like I would for any player, for João Virginia and Harry Tyra, who's on the bench as well for Everton. He's another young goalkeeper, 19 years of age, been at the academy since 2010. He's now on the bench for the 3rd time in the league this season, but I don't think he'll be used, because that would be strange if 2 goalkeepers get injured. So Michael Keane has to see away this long ball forward by Burnley. He's been chased down by Vidra. Does clear it down the line, only as far as Josh Brownhill for Burnley, who's on the far left, gets it into McNeil. Back inside towards Ashley Westwood. He's looking at Matt Lowton on the opposite side, and he finds him and he nods it down for Goodmanson in the box, gets onto his left and lays it off to Brownhill, as his shot was comfortably saved by João Virginia, who's got his first save in the Premier League completed within the first couple minutes of his Premier League debut. Probably didn't expect to get on the pitch today, but he's going to have to take this chance with both hands, quite literally, as he has to save the ball there with both hands, as he clears it again up towards Calvert-Lewin, straight towards the striker. And it's been able to be played towards Holgate, out wide to Iwobi forced again back to the centre-back of Everton there, Michael Keane. As we've had 17 shots in this game, it's been so entertaining. But it's Everton, the team struggling. And it's Allen. Number 6. Great player, Allen. 26 Champions League appearances for Napoli. And he's chose to join Everton to hopefully have more appearances under his belt in the Champions League if they can get there. As great headers being won by Holgate on the far right to keep it in play. Chip towards Calvert-Lewin, headed away by Tarkowski as far as Allen. Can get it into Iwobi as we've got 3 minutes of additional time. And due to the injury, as Richarlison has been given the ball, lays it into Gomez. Over to Digne on the far left. Good play that from Gomez. And it's Digne, he's going to assess his options and go to the edge of the box to Richarlison. 1-on-1 with Goodmanson, and he works the cross towards Calvert-Lewin, headed away by Peters. Helped on by Wood up towards Vidra, and it's fell towards him, and he's got it past Keane. It's him against 2 Everton defenders now, Holgate, who pressures him to play it back to McNeil, and Vidra makes a run off the ball, and he looks for him in behind, and he's down the byline, and he just about keeps it in play. Looks across, and it's deflected by Michael Keane to Allen, and Everton can survive that scare from Burnley right before half-time, as they can't keep it with Iwobi, and Brownhill has it back for Burnley. Tarkowski forward to Westwood, back out wide right to Matt Lowton, the right back. Can't quite find Goodmanson, the pass just too far ahead of him. And Tom Davies now has it, met with a really late challenge by Matt Lowton, but he was able to work it to Iwobi, who then finds Calvert-Lewin in the box with a good touch, but it's Ben Mee to tackle him and fend the ball away. Only as far as Iwobi helps it back in, met by Ben Mee again. Headed away by Eric Peters towards Gomez on the edge, works it to Iwobi on the right. Shifts it onto his right foot, and then back towards Gomez, who has a chance for a cross, and he will deliver up towards Matt Lowton, who can just let it go over his head, and the ball will go out for a throw in there for Burnley on the right back area. But Iwobi there bringing it forward and looking for Calvert-Lewin, who got in between the 2 centre-backs, but a good tackle there by the captain, Ben Mee, to tackle it away and then dealing with the cross again. But Tom Davies was met late there by Lowton. I'm hoping Matt Lowton got yellow carded after that attack. Yeah, he was. There we go. Jonathan Moss handing over the yellow card for Matt Lowton. It's his 29th yellow card in 165 Burnley appearances, 4 for the season. So he throws it forward and they win another throw-in, as it I think came off Digne last for Everton. We've got 45 seconds left of this first half. Long throw-in towards Vidra. Headed in looking for Westwood, but it falls to Tom Davies, who can't keep possession as Brownhill looks to break forward, but Allen denies his access forward into the Everton half as Allen can zip it into Andre Gomez. Can they get an equaliser before half-time? Out to Alex Iwobi on the right-hand side. 1-on-1 with Eric Peters. Looks to cross it, deflects it away to the edge of the box where Goodmanson helps on to Allen, who heads it back for Everton as Godfrey has been forced to Virginia, who clears with the right boot forward up towards Calvert-Lewin again. He's had 3 kicks, Virginia. They've gone right into the area for Calvert-Lewin, so he's not doing anything wrong so far, as Everton couldn't keep possession through the kick. But that doesn't matter because there's no time for Burnley to do anything with possession, as it is half-time at Goodison Park. 2-1. Burnley took the lead. And they took the lead for a Tom Davies mistake. He was pressed well, to be fair, by Josh Brownhill in midfield. Kind of the story of the first half, really. Everton being really poor in midfield. Brownhill brought it away from Tom Davies, got it into McNeil. His cross was deflected away by Marco Kino as far as Chris Wood, who composed himself just inside the box onto his right foot and placed it into the bottom right corner to give the lead to Burnley in the 13th minute. And then not too long after, 11 minutes after, Dwight McNeil, who went from the left wing over to the right, got the ball, skipped past Allen, shifted it onto his left foot and curled an absolute worldie of a finish into the top left corner to give Burnley a 2-goal lead, well deserved as well. But that was halved, that 2-goal lead, to 1, not only by a Calvert-Lewin goal, but a Calvert-Lewin power header. No keeper saving it, even from point-blank range, as that lead was cut in half by Calvert-Lewin around 8 minutes later in the 32nd minute. And from then, I think Everton switched up possession a little bit and switched up their formation. I think they sent Iwobi from the centre out to the right hand side, and it worked a little better as Everton were making a few more chances, but no clear-cut chances where Burnley should be worrying too much. And on the other hand, Burnley have still been creating the chances they've been making all game. So Everton really need to be careful here, because their change of formation might be making them have more chances, but it's not stopping Burnley creating more chances. So they've got to be careful. But at half time, it is Everton 1, Burnley 2. Deserved lead, but Everton are definitely slowly finding their way into this game. That goal obviously definitely helped from Calvert-Lewin, scoring his 19th goal of the season in all competitions and his 30th appearance in all competitions as well. So nearly hitting the 20 landmark. But the Everton form at home needs to improve. Like I said, 14 of the wins they've got this season, 9 of them have come away from home, which is obviously a very impressive record, but you've got to be winning at home. That's where the points are coming. A little bit like Leicester as well. They've struggled at home, but they've done really well away. So just do that. There you go. Need to change up the first half. The half time. Half time there. Yeah, we've also had a forced change by Everton. Jordan Pickford, who picked up an injury as Goodmanson hit the post actually for Burnley just before Calvert-Lewin scored to make it 2-1. So they could have made it 3-0. He crashed the post, Goodmanson, and as Pickford's attempted to save it, he's dived onto his right side and injured his right hip, and he's had to be forced off. He did play for about 15 minutes afterwards, trying to see the injury off, but couldn't quite do so. And João Virginia, who's making only his second Everton appearance, his first ever Premier League appearance, he had to come on. And like I said, the João Virginia's distribution, the backup keeper, has been absolutely fantastic. Every single kick he's done has gone straight towards Calvert-Lewin, either right on his head or in an area where Calvert-Lewin can attempt to try and get onto it. So that probably would have relaxed his nerves a little bit. Burnley just need to be doing the same, I think. They're defending well. A lapse of concentration from Matt Lowton did play Calvert-Lewin on side. If Matt Lowton, the right back, pushed up with the rest of the back four, then Calvert-Lewin would have been offside, but Calvert-Lewin knew he was on, so gave himself an extra yard to get ahead of the defenders and powered home a header from about 6 yards out. Yeah, what do we think? 2-1 at half time. I mean, like I said, I knew when I was commenting on Burnley, I knew that I was going to be getting a good game, because when I watched them against Leicester, they play in the 4-4-2 down the channel system, but they were creating chances and they were going for it. So that might be the new way Burnley are playing now. You know, they're getting a bit more confidence. You've got to remember, they're 7 unbeaten going into this game. Yes, a lot of them were draws, but they're still not losing games. So they're obviously doing something right. So this might be the new way forward. A bit of funding as well for Sean Dyche. And, you know, next season, they could be on another European tour, Burnley. Oh, just give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I was drinking from a mug from the team I support. I don't want to be exposing myself because of a drink. But yeah, Keane gave the ball to Davies for the first goal, just hesitated, allowed Brownhill to nick it off him, and then it was actually Chris Wood who helped it on to McNeil, who then tried to pull it back, I think towards Vidra, cleared by Keane, not convincingly enough, fell to Chris Wood. Like I said, composed finish by Chris Wood, who was obviously without his partner in crime, but still scoring the goals. Took a nice touch to get out of his feet. Nice shot. No chance for Pickford. Give Burnley a lead in the game. Around that bottom corner, but you think that finish is good. The Dwight McNeil one is even better. Much, much better. I think the scene, if there was a foul on Tom Davies, as Brownhill took the ball off him, but it would have been a bit soft. But here it is, 25th minute. Dwight McNeil got it from Mateo Vidra, who peeled to the right hand side, chopped past Allen, got it back onto his left, saw the angle, went for it, curled it right into that top right corner. What a goal! Top left corner, sorry. What a goal You just don't get more top corner than that. You really don't. I wish they could pause it the minute it was hitting the net. So satisfying. What a goal. Does Dwight McNeil maybe have a shout at the Euro squad? You know, he's only ever played for the England under-21s, making 7 appearances for them. He's not yet been called up, I don't think, for the England squad, if I'm not mistaken. That Calvert-Lewin goal as well, 32nd minute. We'll be playing it inside to Tom Davies, who saw the cross, and Calvert-Lewin, who was able to stay on side, use all of his neck muscles to get as much power on that ball as possible. And as he did, got it past the Nick Pope, who really couldn't do anything about that. It was so close. Also, 23rd minute, so just before the McNeil goal to make it 2-0, Burnley had a penalty shout as it came off Holgate's arm from a corner as he went to challenge with Ben Mee. Again, it would have been a bit harsh if that was given as a penalty. I know it came off his arm, but he's just using his arm as leverage. But you've got to be careful when you're doing it, because to be fair, his arm was right at his face, so it's a bit of a hard one to judge that. Eddie Howe's giving his opinion at the minute. Eddie Howe, could he be looking at a job soon in the Premier League? Who knows? Everton would stay 6th, but it would give Tottenham the chance to go 2 points ahead of them if they were to win and go into 6th for Tottenham. But it wouldn't give Liverpool a chance to go above Everton in terms of they could go if Everton losing and Liverpool win, they could go above Everton, but Everton would have a game in hand on Liverpool, and that's obviously very important. So even though they could go ahead of them on goal difference, Liverpool, Everton would still have a game in hand where they could go a point or 2 ahead. Not point or 3, not point or 2. But yeah, the kick-off for the second half that's gone really quick. 3-4 minutes away. Actually, there's 3 minutes added on, weren't they? It's about 5 minutes probably away. But Sean Dyche will be absolutely delighted. You know, 12th game against Everton as manager. Before this, he's only managed 4 wins, scoring 10 goals and conceding 18. Yeah, I think we'll see more goals. Well, we've got to, really, because Everton have got to go for it. My volume's low. Wow. Okay, I don't want to go much higher. Okay, I've gone the highest I can. Can I turn it up as well this way? Turn it up as well. If it gets too loud, then let me know. Because sometimes with mine, when it gets too loud, it starts like making weird noises, and I don't like it when I listen back. Is that loud enough? Well, you probably hear the dogs. But if my volume is loud, is low, just let me know straight away. But don't wait till half time. Like if you see it within the game, I've always got a minute or a second to change it. I hope that's a little bit better. I just don't want to go too loud because then it makes a really annoying sound. Like I don't know how to describe it, like a crackling noise. It's just a bit annoying when I've listened back, but I've gone as high as I can. Oh, that's as high as I can, for sure. So just let me know. Yeah, you can hear the dogs. Of course, everyone can hear the dogs. Do every day, without fail, at least once every stream. But do I sound okay? Do I sound louder or not? It's just mainly I don't have a mic stand at the minute because it broke. Here, the mic just won't attach to it, so I've got to like lay it on my desk. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to distract. Oh no, that's fine. No. Don't worry. That's absolutely fine. I understand why you didn't say. But yeah, if there's any issues, just let me know during the stream, because even if it is a complicated thing, I can always, then at least I know, so then I can, then when there's a break in play, I can go, right, I can try and sort it out. But yeah, no, don't apologise. That's fine. As long as we've got it sorted, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. But yeah, kick off just in around 2-3 minutes time now. I'm gonna go 4-2 Burnley. I really reckon they're gonna score a few more. I know they don't score many, like I've said, but I really do think that they've got a chance to score a few. I just think Everton's midfield, the amount of possession they give away. What's your age? I'm just not answering that. You don't need to know that. Don't need to know. And don't guess as well, because I won't answer. I'm just going to remove that. I know you didn't mean it in that way, but no, you don't know who's watching, do you? Just don't want people thinking they can come in and ask. But yeah, I think I'm going 4-2 Burnley. But then it could be like 3-2 Everton, and I'm just like absolute egg on the face. That's the prediction I've gone with anyway. It's really annoying as well. Every time I look at the chat in the bottom right, my computer needs to get updated apparently. And it's just like a little orange circle there. Do it after the stream. Actually, let me actually hear how I sound. Let me get it on my phone. Oh yeah, next commentary as well, by the way, is Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, second leg. They are 1-0 up with an away goal at the minute. Chelsea did draw today with Leeds, 0-0. But apparently it was quite an entertaining 0-0, to be fair. And the next week's commentary until we have a little bit of a break because it's international duty, and I could just do with a bit of a break as well. Might do a watch along as well. I might do a watch along to an England game if anyone's interested, instead of a commentary, just sitting down, relaxing and watching. I might do that maybe for a few international games. But in terms of a commentary where I do all my notes and solely focus on the game, where I'm telling you everything that happens, that won't happen during the international break. But I could do a watch along. But yeah, next week's one on the 20th. So the early one, 12:15, FA Cup, Bournemouth versus Southampton. So we've got a bit of a derby there on the coast. So yeah, Bournemouth versus Southampton. And if you're thinking, why is he doing that game? That's a bit of a random game. It's just the only one that actually fits into like my day, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's next week. We've got Chelsea Atletico Madrid 17th of March, and then Bournemouth Southampton on the 20th of March as well. So yeah. I was going to check something on my phone, I forgot. Oh yeah, my sound. Yeah, what do we do? Can't speak. Does anyone have any predictions for the second half? I don't. It sounds louder, but I just don't like the quality of it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I do apologise. The quality just sounds a little bit worse. So I'll just speak louder. I'll speak louder. The players are back out for the second half, including the substitute keeper for Everton, who had to be called upon due to a Pickford injury that he sustained in the first half, and he had to be substituted just before the end of the half in the end. So it'll be Everton's kick-off, kicking left to right, to Burnley right to left, as Alan kicks off for Everton, played to Godfrey in the end. It goes towards the left-hand side, it's headed away by Tarkowski and helped on by Brownhill, and touched by Vidra, only as far as Andre Gomez. He finds Digne, he lifts it in towards Richarlison, flicks on towards Calvert-Lewin, tries to dummy it and let it go forward, but it's been picked up by Burnley. And Nick Pope can clear down the Burnley right-hand side. It's been seen out by Digne, away for an Everton throw-in. First down. Alan's got it in the midfield for Everton. Just now with sound I can hear you. I just turned up the volume to the max. Yeah, I'll do that. Tom Davies to Luca Digne as they look to make an instant impact in this second half. Everton. Richarlison dropping a little bit deeper and playing it back to Michael Keane towards the right hand side where Alex Iwobi's now playing a winger position, not the inside position as it's played to Andre Gomez, who decides to strike it himself. It's a very, very good Nick Pope save. From first glances, you might think that's an easy save to make if you're not seeing this. But it's Andre Gomez on his left foot, just on the edge, around 20 yards out, goes for the far post, and Nick Pope's really had to stretch his left arm there to stop that from going in. It's a really impressive save. Using the full build of his body to get there to the ball and to keep it out and avoid it going to 2-2. Luca Digne crosses it in, headed away at the near post. It'll fall straight to Allen. He's going to look at the left-hand side this time to try and maybe work it into the box. He's gone to the man who's furthest left, Andre Gomez. He helps it back in the box, lifted up towards Digne, who can bring it down just on the edge up towards the corner flag, and he turns quickly and gets a cross into Calvert-Lewin, and he misses. He's missed by about 6 yards. It's a really poor header in the end, but I don't think he expected to have the opportunity to head it at goal, because it's well to Digne. He's spun and crossed it, and I think Calvert-Lewin was expecting Ben Mee to win the header, but Ben Mee's completely missed it, and it fell to Calvert-Lewin and just came off his shoulder actually in the end. No wonder it went so far wide. I was wondering, that must have been a poor header, but he's missed his head and gone off his shoulder and then gone really wide. So that kind of makes it all add up there in the end, as Michael Keane's clearance has fell to Iwobi on the right hand side, back inside to Calvert-Lewin, who's back to goal, and he helps it forward to Andre Gomez, and he lifts it towards Richarlison, cleared away by Matt Lowton, and Digne has to give chase ahead of Vidra, and we'll get there ahead of the Czech striker, and we'll play back to Godfrey inside the Everton box, forward to Gomez, laid into Luca Digne, down line to Gomez, inside to Allen, well worked out there from the left hand side there for Everton. Allen's poor ball to Gomez there's been picked up by Burnley, really poor by Everton's Goodmanson runs out of pitch, and a throw-in's won by Everton with Allen. Luca Digne is going to throw it inside towards Calvert-Lewin, who flicks it on nicely up towards Richarlison, but a little bit of misdirection there from the flick on, and Burnley can have the throw-in in their right-back area with Matt Lowton. Matt Lowton throws it into Josh Brownhill, who's been at the club now since the start of 2020. He was signed from Bristol. The central midfielder who can also play out wide. Eric Peters now, down the line for McNeil, asking a lot of the winger there. Well too much on it from Eric Peters. No way McNeil is getting on the end of that. I don't even think Usain Bolt's getting on the end of that. Too heavy of a pass straight out for a goal kick for Everton. First 5 minutes of the second half, quite even. Both teams just trying to get back into the flow of the game. João Virginia. The Everton goal clips up towards Calvert-Lewin. Climbed up on by Ben Mee. And he wins the header, Ben Mee, but he's got a free kick in the end as Calvert-Lewin was deemed as offside. Ben Mee rolls it forward as he's about to launch the ball up the pitch into the Everton half. Just inside the Burnley half is where the ball is, and he clips it in towards the box, or to the edge where Tarkowski can't win the header. It could be cleared away by Ben Godfrey. Volley away onto the technical area for Everton as they try and work it as quick as they can up to into Matt Lowton, the Burnley right back. Got Westwood as an option. He throws it into him and he turns and lifts it down the line up towards Vidra, who doesn't quite get there ahead of Godfrey, but he forces the young centre-back to clear it out for a throw-in in the final third as they push up further forward here, Burnley, as they look for a third goal in the game. Matt Lowton with the throw. It's Goodmanson towards the corner flag. Does work across there, Matt Lowton, headed away by Tom Davies to Richarlison, who's got it to Ireland in the end after being caught late, so play is being allowed to go on despite the foul there on Richarlison as it's Digne. Goes for an audacious switch to Iwobi. What a ball. Brought down by Iwobi and played forward to Holgate, making his 100th Everton appearance. Back to Iwobi. Deflected to the edge of the box where Westwood can clear and dink it towards Vidra, who gets there ahead of Michael Keane. Works it towards Wood, who can't keep it under his control. And Digne has it now for Everton. Back to Godfrey. Tom Davies. Michael Keane to the goalkeeper Virginia. Left-footed clearance first time up. Well, I think he was looking for the run of Iwobi, and he's going to give chase to the Nigerian, but Nick Pope's there, who's allowed to take a touch in the left-back area and clear down the line, and he's kept it in play, but he'll be knocked towards any Burnley players. It'll be Michael Keane to take over with the ball. Actually, the Nick Pope clearance went out, I think, so Mason Holgate just took a quick throw to Davies on the halfway line, over to Godfrey, as again, all Burnley players behind the ball. Not anymore, because Godfrey's decided to go on a run. He's got midfield and defence to beat now. As he tries to work it inside towards Richarlison, it does deflect, and away it goes for an Everton throw-in right down that left-hand side. Godfrey. Gomez, back to Godfrey again. Allen. Davies in support. Godfrey again on the left. So is Digne. Finds no one. Allen, despite all the options, and it's Vidra with the ball. Lowton works it to Goodmanson. To Tarkovsky, who then goes long down the right hand side. I think just bobbled in front of him, and he slices it away for an Everton throw-in the end as they regain possession. Digne goes for a long throw towards his centre-back Michael Keane, who's able to head it towards Godfrey, and Vidra tries to go for it, but Godfrey takes it away from him, humps it, and pumps it down the line towards, well, I say down the line, down the centre of the pitch towards Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin, but Ben Mee was able to get there. And Nick Pope rolls it out and kicks it off the floor towards Chris Wood, can't win the header, and it's headed away to Iwobi, who's drifting in from the right hand side and finds Gomez on the left. Again, another switch is on, and they're going to go for it, and they have found Holgate, who's bursted forward there. Plays it into Iwobi in the end, gets a crossing towards Calvert-Lewin, takes it in stride beautifully and knocked to the ground in the process. The referee sees nothing wrong with it, and the touch fell into a thankful hands of Nick Pope. Good cross. Bergkamp-esque touch, you know, that goal against Newcastle where he took a touch and spun at the same time, nearly did that. Wasn't caught by Tarkovsky. Play continues. Has it gone up to Chris Wood again? Can't keep the ball for his team, but it doesn't matter because Burnley will have it back thanks to a misplaced Everton clearance off the pitch. They've also got the option of Sigurdsson. They've got many options, to be fair. Everton, in terms of creative spark, they've got Sigurdsson, King, the young winger Nathan Broadhead, or maybe the young midfielder Tyler Onyango, 18-year-old midfielder. Brownhill heads it forward for Burnley, cleared away by Allen up towards Richarlison, who chests it down, and Andre Gomez will take over as he has to try and work his way away from Goodmanson. Uses Richarlison again out wide left to Digne, down the line to Richarlison, who's made a run, and also Digne has looked to try and feed the Frenchman, but it came off a Burnley defender last and trickled away for a throw-in, which Digne will take. Right, that final third for Everton. Can they maybe work it into the box? They throw back to Davies. Into Digne. First time ball inside towards Allen. Lays it off to Tom Davies. Can he work himself away from Brownhill? No, he can't. Takes him out in the process and concedes a foul there, Tom Davies. And a free kick it'll be for Everton. They won 3 on the bounce before the Chelsea loss. It could be back-to-back losses for Everton. This will be their 10th loss of the season. Only 2 behind Burnley if they lose today. Burnley on 12. Only 7 wins though, and at the minute, those 7 wins are half as much as what Everton have got. They've got 14. As the ball's been put forward by Pope, it's been worked towards McNeil in the end on the edge of the box. Can't quite feed Chris Wood, and Iwobi has to force it down the line and gets it nicely into Holgate, but a poor touch allows McNeil to come back and defend for his team and win the ball back. It's now with Westwood to Wood. Can't quite flick it. Was that Tarkovsky? What's Tarkovsky doing that far forward? His flick couldn't quite find a man in yellow and brown. And Everton have it with Richarlison on the left. He's got Digne in support. Tries to go inside to Calvert-Lewin on his own. And the ball's been deflected away for a throw-in for Digne. Throws it into Richarlison. Back to Andre Gomez. Fakes the cross the first time and plays it into Richarlison. Digne, right-footed ball. No one's making a run where he was planting the ball in behind down the byline, and it can be seen out for a goal kick for Burnley. It's like Ben Mee struggling on his left hip, Pickford on the right hip, Ben Mee on the left. He's saying he's okay. He can kind of put the hand out to indicate that he can continue. Nick Pope has the goal kick. Only 4 England appearances compared to Pickford's 30, but in all those 4 games that he's played, even though some of them haven't been the full 90 minutes, some of them have been half-time substitutions, he's got 4 clean sheets. That's not too bad, 100% record. But he'd definitely be looking for that starting spot at Euro 2020, played in 2021. Burnley lost it, but they regained it. And now with Ben Mee. Back to Nick Pope again, who's got a second chance to clear. Does so nicely up towards Wood. Chested down to Goodmanson. Being chased down by Allen on the right. Can't quite get past him. Tackled by Digne in the end. Allen and Digne working together to win the ball as Allen spreads it out wide right to Mason Holgate. Down the line looking for Richarlison. Gets there, but he's been pressured by Eric Peters and he's been bundled to the ground by the left back, and Jonathan Moss dictates how decisions are made in this game, and the one he's made is that's a foul on Richarlison. Played into him again on the half term. Richarlison always on the half term, looking for his options, and he's gone to cross it. He's just been cut across there by Eric Peters and brought down, and a free kick it'll be for Everton, and a set piece Burnley have to defend. They're good at attacking set pieces. How are they good at defending them? Gomez and Digne are over it. They've been over every set piece nearly. Them two. Will it be a outswinger? And I think it will by Andre Gomez. Swings it in. Up towards Michael Keane, who catches it on the volley. Quite wide of the post in the end, actually. Around nearly edge of the box, that from Michael Keane. He just peeled away. Actually towards the penalty spot. And I think he's hit it with his knee. Eventually, he's gone to try and volley it. He's pressured by Ben Mee, and as he swung for it, he just cannoned off the knee, and it went about 10 yards wide of the post in the end. And a goal kick for Burnley. Unlucky for Michael Keane, not really a striker's finish, but he has got 3 goals this season in the Premier League. Against West Brom, Liverpool and Wolves, so he's scored a few this year. Michael Keane, who was actually captain for Everton in the reverse fixture against Burnley this season. Showing there on Sky, like I said before, 108 appearances for Burnley. So he might have to do some defending here against his former side, as Goodmanson couldn't quite find his way past Gomez, as he gets a left-footed pass forward to Calvert-Lewin. Looking out wide right to Iwobi, brings him into play. Holgate's making a charging run forward, and Iwobi carries the ball. Goes to his left to Tom Davies, around 30 yards away from goal. Back out wide right to Iwobi. Uses Holgate. Going to look to cut into his onto his left foot. Too heavy of a touch, and as Eric Peters took over. In the end, Holgate fouls him from behind as he looked to recover. In a foul, and a free kick's been given to Burnley. Just got about half an hour plus added on time to play, in Burnley currently seeing this game out. The last 3 games in this fixture, we've not seen more than 2 goals, so that's good. That's broken that record. We had a 1-1 earlier this season, then we had back-to-back 1-0s for the home teams. 1-0 to Everton last season at home, and 1-0 to Burnley at home last season. But we've had an anomaly. The last time there was a lot of goals in this game was actually an Everton away win. They won 5-1 back in 2018 on Boxing Day, a year before the appointment of Ancelotti. Yerry Mina scored 1 that day, Digne scored 2, Sigurdsson scored 1, and also Richarlison. But they've not quite got that amount of goals yet, Burnley. They're only got 2, but they could have more, as Vidra nearly picks it up from Michael Keane, but Brownhill's picks it up from a misplaced pass, but it's a strong Digne challenge to win the ball back from Everton as he clears it away. There'll be a throw-in for Burnley, I'm pretty sure, but it's a heavy challenge for both players as they've collided there. Don't think there was a foul involved, to be honest. I think it was just 2 players going in strong for the ball. Digne looks to just clatter it away, and as he's gone to swing at the ball and kick the ball, he's just been caught by the running Brownhill across his leg and would have hurt a little bit. I think Brownhill's fine, but it's Digne who actually went to put the tackle in, who's come out hurt. I think both players will be okay, and I think we'll just resume with the throw-in, I'm presuming, from where Digne cleared it away, and we will. Be an Eric Peters throw to Brownhill, back to Peters, first time ball looking for Matt Lowton, part of that back four. Long ball forward, looking for Vidra. Too much on it possibly? Yes, there is. João Virginia for Everton in between the sticks. Fredson at Goodison Park collects. Stadium that was opened in 1892. For Everton, 14 years after they'd founded as a club, and the construction cost of it for Goodison Park back then was £3,000. But can Calvert-Lewin get his double? No, he can't. Heavy touch can be collected by Nick Pope in the end. He's had a few goals, Calvert-Lewin at Goodison Park, but not there. Like I said, £3,000 back then would have been a lot of money to construct this. But it looks like they're going to be moving away from it very soon, as they've been allowed, or they've been approved to build their new stadium by the Liverpool Council, which is very exciting. Obviously, it'll be quite sad to leave a stadium that's been your home since 1892. But you know, it's a progression for the football club that they need to do. All big sides eventually leave their grounds. City left Main Road for the Etihad. Arsenal left Highbury for the Emirates. You know, it's all part of the game. But he couldn't score there, Calvert-Lewin, as they've got a defender Burnley attack with Lowton, the right back to Goodmanson, who's got his back to goal, so works it to James Tarkowski, the centre back. Westwood, 1 goal this year for the central midfielder against Newcastle. Peters, back to Westwood, ball around the corner. It will find Wood on the left. Just on the edge of the box on the left-hand side, gets it into the box. And can he lay it off? He just keeps it, as he's been pressured by Godfrey and tries to play it across over to Matt Lowton, who is tackled by Richarlison, but it falls to Westwood. He's fed it through to Wood, tries to pull it back towards Vidra and can be cleared by Michael Keane. Would have maybe worked onto his right foot and shot there instead of being unselfish, but might have to cost it at Burnley in the end, as Iwobi's found Calvert-Lewin, who's had to be drove over towards the far right, but he's kept it alive and finds Tom Davies to Gomez, finds Digne. He's running in behind, but it's a vital tackle by Goodmanson to send it behind for a corner kick. And Everton have a set piece to try and equal this game and level it up. They were 2-0 down within 25 minutes due to Chris Wood and Dwight McNeil goals, but a finish or a header from Calvert-Lewin before half-time allowed Everton to have a little bit of hope going into the second 45. This is Digne, out swinging ball. It's up towards Calvert-Lewin. He does head it forward, but it's cleared away by Matej Vidra. Always finds Allen, who's been recovering all those clearances from corners for Everton. Iwobi on the far right to number 17, formerly of Arsenal. Back to Allen. Right-footed pass to Tom Davies and work way back to Virginia, the goalkeeper. First time clearance forward in behind. Richarlison's going to give chase, but Nick Pope's there. Good defending again by Burnley as they look to keep their 10th clean sheet. So looking like they're going to bring on Josh King. Dwight McNeil's lost the ball, and Tom Davies can try and bring it away on the right hand side. Strong challenge from, I couldn't quite see who that was. The camera cut away, but it was definitely a foul there on Tom Davies. But he's not too bothered because he's got the ball and he's going to continue playing Tom Davies. It's Allen. Richarlison on the left. Dropping deep for the ball. Shows signs of desperation really when you dropping deep for the ball. Just needs to try and keep at it, Richarlison. Stay forward. Create the runs. Create the chances. Allen just about works it back to Godfrey. It's now Michael Keane inside the Everton half. He brings it forward down the right hand side into the Burnley half. He's got Tom Davies ahead of him and he plays it to him, who works it to Holgate inside to Michael Keane, who's kept going. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's lost it with a touch trying to find Iwobi. A little bit too compact down the right, but they've won the ball back with a Burnley clearance. It's going to be a throw-in with Allen. They're going to try and start quickly, but they're going to have to just put it on hold for now. As Duncan Ferguson, out of all people, given a new job of holding up the substitution board. It's Tom Davies, who was at fault for the first goal, giving the ball away, is going to be brought off, and Josh King is going to be substituted on, who's got a fantastic record against Burnley and Everton as well. Robbie Brady is on as well for Burnley. Yeah, Josh King, 9 appearances against Burnley, 3 goals, but he's got 10 against the club he's currently at. 10 appearances against Everton, 5 goals and 5 assists. How ridiculous is that? Great record, but that's obviously irrelevant because he don't want to be scoring against Everton. He wants to be scoring for Everton. As Robbie Brady was replaced, Robbie Brady, the Burnley winger, replaced Johan Berg Gudmundsson, who did hit the post today, but not quite the goal he would have wanted, or not quite the goal that he was looking for. As Andre Gomez plays it forward to Josh King, who is offside. Offside ref, yeah, there we go. On the left-hand side, offside. I think Gomez knew he was offside, but played it towards him anyway, which was a bit strange. Yeah. Gudmundsson off, Brady on, Tom Davies off, Josh King on. Yet to start as well, Josh King for Burnley. It's his 8th Premier League appearance. His Johan Berg Gudmundsson is just getting wrapped up with the ice around the left leg. Is it the left ankle, maybe? The physio is just in the way. But Pickford is out for the second half. And watching his team on from the benches as Chris Wood sees it out for a goal kick. He thought it was going to be a corner there for his team. But yeah, there he is. Pickford in a big coat. He's in the full tracksuit, watching his team on from the stands as he was took off in around the 43rd minute. Is João Virginia, the goalkeeper who replaced him, ushers his men forward as he takes a long goal kick up towards Calvert-Lewin. Can't win the header. Tarkowski does though, only as far as Digne, who heads it forward to Josh King, tries to head it inside to Calvert-Lewin, but it doesn't fall for him. But it's Brownhill was tackled by Calvert-Lewin. Burnley could have been away there, but John Moss blew his whistle in the end. So they've got to go back to the free kick just inside the Burnley half. Don't want to jinx it, but we've had no VAR calls yet. Maybe the penalty, but that wasn't like a proper check where we saw the lines and the cameras and everything. But VAR for today's game is Martin Atkinson, and his assistant for VAR is Andy Halliday. As Chris Wood wins the header on towards Vidra in the box. There's a mix-up in the back. Vidra can try and spin and shoot, miskicks it. It falls to Digne, into Allen, back to Digne. They need to clear it here, Everton, or they're going to play out from the back with Gomez. What a chance. Virginia was going for it, the goalkeeper, and Godfrey got in his way, and it allowed Vidra to have a chance at trying to shoot, but he was very compact in that area, so his shot in the end was mishit, and Everton got away with it. Flicked on by Wood. Virginia was coming for it, and it's come off, I think, Godfrey's shoulder. I don't think he even knew too much about it. Just rolled off the shoulder, and it missed the keeper. Not really his fault, the keeper there. And he's parried it into the sky, and Vidra tries to shoot, and it comes off his standing leg as he goes to swing, and it moves away. The keeper was going to get that as well, but it's just rolled off the shoulder of Godfrey. It's a ball in towards Chris Wood by Eric Peters. It's an early diagonal cross, and it had to be flicked away by Godfrey. He stopped a lot of good chances for Burnley today, Godfrey. He's made a lot of good blocks and a lot of important headers. So despite Everton not playing too well defensively, he's had a good game. He stopped a lot of chances, Godfrey. It's an early cross in right towards Chris Wood, who definitely was going to get contact on it, looking to score a brace today, but not to be. Godfrey denied that as we've got just over 20 minutes, plus added on time. It's an in-swinging Dwight McNeil cross towards the back post where Ben Mee heads it across goal onto the crossbar. Richarlison can bring it away. So close for Ben Mee. Played forward to Iwobi. The carrot that could be on. Has to go back to Allen in the left back area on the edge of the box. Does work himself away from Dwight McNeil. Back to Iwobi. Inside to Josh King. He's got time and space to turn and run at the defence. Out wide left is Richarlison. He feeds it into him, who looks for the cross, headed away by Tarkowski. Fall to Brady, who clears up towards Wood, but the header's won by Michael Keane, only as far as a Burnley midfielder as they look to break forward with Brady into Westwood, who's leading the charge. He's got McNeil to his right, got Vidra inside. He's going to look for Vidra, gets onto his right foot and shoots, and what a save. When called upon, the keeper's acted the way that a backup keeper needs to. When you're called upon, you've got to be on it, and that's exactly what he's been like today. João Virginia, good movement for Vidra to get onto his right foot, got the shot away, not quite in the corner, but still well saved in the end by the keeper as they look to attack here with Allen. Right footed pass to the right hand side to Iwobi. Not much movement from Everton. He drifts inside and finds Richarlison on the edge of the box. Digne on the left hand side. He's got a great chance for a cross. He needs to get it in quickly. He's going to try and take on McNeil instead. He's been tackled by the winger, and The clearance has only gone as far as Gomez around 10 yards away. He goes inside towards Josh King, too much on it. He's been tackled, but it falls to Allen as the attack is just being kept alive still. Allen to Michael Keane. Forward to Iwobi. Can't quite get into their front men yet, but he has spun Brady well and looked for Calvert-Lewin on the spin as he's been taken down by Ben Mee, and again the referees deemed that as not enough there for a free kick for Everton, and Nick Pope in the end just seen it behind for a goal kick. But here's the chance again from Vidra. Well found by Westwood, took in his stride beautifully, works it onto his right foot, got the shot past Godfrey this time. Sorry about that. Oh my days. Got to remember as well, from the corner about 2 minutes ago, Ben Mee did hit the crossbar. A lot's going on in this game. I know we've not had a goal yet this half, but action-packed. 2 chances, the Vidra strike and the Ben Mee crossbar hit. He's got another change here. Holgate off, the right back. Not quite the best of appearances for him. It's his 100th today. He's been replaced by the captain, Seamus Coleman. He might have defending to do already here, Coleman, as they're attacking on the opposite side here, Burnley. With McNeil, back to Lowton. Ball forward, looking for Chris Wood, cut out by Digne. Now Gomez, first time touched into Josh King. Can't get past Lowton, good challenge, and it's fell to Brownhill in the end as he looks to break away quickly, past just too far ahead of McNeil, and goes for a Everton throw-in as Coleman is on the captain, making his 16th Premier League appearance. He's been injured for 10 games in the Premier League this year, and in the 1-0 away loss last year, he was sent off in the 56th minute in a 1-0 loss where Jeff Hendrick scored in the 72nd minute. Seamus Coleman sent off at 0-0. He went on to lose. As Gomez plays it over to the Irishman, who can't go any further forwards because he's been tackled by another Irishman, Robbie Brady, but his touch is too heavy and Keane can bring it away and avoid the challenge of Brady. Keane is still bringing it forward and looking in behind for Richarlison, easily cut out by Ben Mee. Out wide left to Eric Peters. Clip down the line, looking for Chris Wood in behind, but it's a vital interception and a really important one by Michael Keane. Stopped it from going over his head and brought it down beautifully. And they're going to look to attack with Josh King on the left-hand side. Inside to Gomez, just inside the Everton half. Lifts it to Digne. Into King. He's got Digne on his left, who's in a crossing position, but tries to go inside towards Richarlison. Stopped by Peters. Scuffed clearance, and it falls to Seamus Coleman on the edge of the box. What is that? He rushes with a left-footed pass, and it's nowhere near Iwobi. And the pass goes right towards the corner flag, where, thankfully for him, it's not gone for a goal kick, it's gone from a throw-in. So at least Everton could try and box in Burnley here, but what an awful pass that was. As Eric Peters will take it. Right next to that corner flag. Throw-in's been taken, it's come off Coleman, and he's kept it in. As he looks down the line for Calvert-Lewin, had to be cleared away by Ben Mee, as he didn't want Calvert-Lewin to get on the ball down the byline there. Coleman throws it into Iwobi. Coleman, Iwobi. Clips it into the box towards King, headed away by Lowton. Long as far as Digne, will he work an early cross? No, he won't. Go down the line to King. Right-footed Norwegian. Uses Allen. Back out wide to Digne on the left. Then works the cross. It's dangerous, but not dangerous enough. Nick Pope comes out to catch. Not really anywhere near Calvert-Lewin, to be fair, or Richarlison. Richarlison not yet to score. He's been in a bit of goal-scoring form recently. He's got 6 in the Premier League and 6 in other competitions, including the FA Cup and League Cup. Vidra brings it down. It comes off the hand of Brownhill last. How has Moss not seen that? Come on, Jonathan. We continue with Westwood down the line to Vidra in the box towards the byline. 1-on-1 with Ben Godfrey. Tries to turn him if possible. Not being allowed to face goal, but he's got it to the edge of the box to Brownhill. Can't dink it towards Wood, and Gomez can lift it to Josh King as he sprints down the left-hand side. And helps it on towards Richarlison. He takes it past Tarkowski beautifully and wins the free kick for his side. He picks up the booking as well, Tarkowski, and he apologises and he understands the consequences of that as Richarlison got it down the left-hand side, left the ball, dummied it, and tried to go round Tarkowski and was blocked off completely. And it's a fair fair foul and a free kick, which it can be lifted in by Digne on the left-hand side, of a left-footed cross. That's what they're going to do. It's a great chance for this. Digne, 6 assists so far in the league, like I said before. We add to that tally. So cross into the box. It's a good one up towards Michael Keane, and he's flicked it onto the back post. Just avoids Ben Godfrey. And out for a goal kick it goes. So dangerous. Michael Keane got the flick on. I'm presuming he was aiming towards goal. But in the end, it's just gone a bit wide. And it allowed Godfrey to try and get in at the back post. But it's just behind the centre-back. And it nearly went from centre-back to centre-back for the link-up for the goal. But not for Everton, as they struggle at home once again. Another change for Burnley. We've got Jay Rodriguez coming on. He stands behind the fourth official for today's game. Paul Tierney. Another mistake by the Premier League when announcing who's officiating the games. They put down Chris Kavanagh. They've got it wrong. It's actually Paul Tierney. Did it last week as well. But Jay Rodriguez replaces Mate Vidra. Jay Rodriguez is on. 11 appearances against Everton. He's only won once. And only scored once as well for West Brom back in the 2017-18 season. They were relegated from the Premier League, West Brom. As Keane heads it away. August Brownhill heads it on towards Chris Wood, but it's fell to Rodriguez in the end, who's been tackled by Coleman, and Josh King wins the ball with the header, but in the process of winning the header, he's knocked down Dwight McNeil, and it's going to be a free kick for Burnley as he just catches the head of the winger. Dwight McNeil, who's actually the son of Matty McNeil, who's aged 44. He was born in Manchester and played for Stockport County, who are a club just inside Manchester. Wasn't quite as successful as his son, Matty McNeil. Didn't really get to the heights of the Premier League, but he'll be very happy his son has. His son is scoring in the Premier League as well, and he's scoring screamers like he has today. As João Virginia, the Everton goalkeeper, has to set out his wall here. It's quite far out. McNeil and Brady are over it, two left-footed wingers. Actually, McNeil's going to leave it for Brady. It's around 25-30 yards out. Brady's going to go for goal, and it's a wild free kick. Never ever going to trouble the goalkeeper. And Everton have the goal kick. We've got not all left of this game now. We're just about to hit the 79th minute. As again, the goalkeeper ushers his men forward as they need a goal if they want to keep the pressure on this European place. Pack. It fell straight to Brownhill. Lifts it into Rodriguez, who takes it in his stride beautifully. Looks for Chris Wood on the left. Has to give chase. The man born in New Zealand, and he gets there ahead of Godfrey, right on the far left. Turns, tries to get a left-footed cross in, deflects towards Robbie Brady, who keeps it away from Allen, and Brownhill takes over, gets it to Westwood. Finds Tarkovsky on the halfway line. Pressured by Richarlison, it's been forced out wide to Matt Lowton, who just about keeps it in and clears it down the line. Rodriguez heads it on, looking for Dwight McNeil, but there's been too much put on the header. And Luca Digne has the throw-in, which is taken quickly to Gomez. Back to Digne, down the line to Gomez. Can he take on Westwood? Yes, he does nicely. The Portuguese international can't quite thread it through to Josh King, and the clearance has gone again for another Luca Digne throw-in. He takes a long throw-in again towards Michael Keane, who was just on the edge of the box, and he's going to bring it forward. Bring it out from the back, Michael Keane. Over to the right back, Seamus Coleman. Iwobi, who's been forced it back again. Over to the left centre-back, Ben Godfrey. Digne. Down the line to King. Back to goal. Relays it towards Digne. But he's been tackled by McNeil, who can bring it forward. Gets past Allen. Rodriguez is through, and he slips it through towards him. He's got a left-footed strike. It's been parried out by the goalkeeper, but thankfully for him, it falls to Seamus Coleman, and another Burnley chance goes begging. As Coleman sprints forward with the ball and brings Iwobi into play. He's going to again drift in from the right and dinks the ball over to the left, where there's too much on it, and Josh King doesn't have the height, despite being the height of 6'1", too much on it, and goes out for a throw-in. But another save from Virginia, not as convincing as the others. Really should have caught that, as Rodriguez was able to get a left-footed shot away. Not a lot of power on it, and parry was a little unnecessary, but he's kept the ball out of the goal, and that's the main thing for the 21-year-old Portuguese goalkeeper who's been brought in due to a Pickford injury. As Everton's got a throw in, as Burnley couldn't keep it in again as they look to clear it away out their own half. Digne throws back to Godfrey. We're into the 80th minute now, 81.5 minutes played. Well, 84.5 minutes played technically because of the 3 added on in the first half. As a diagonal ball's gone to Richarlison, can't lay it into King on the edge of the box, and it can be worked away by Burnley in the right back area. Down the line to Rodriguez, who chests it down and keeps it away from Godfrey. Lays it in to Dwight McNeil. Gets onto his left foot and looks in for a pass. Goes down the line to Lowton, who lets Josh King get a nick on the ball and let it roll for a throw-in. Down the line it goes to Rodriguez. Can't win his header, but it falls to Josh Brownhill, whose clearance has been blocked off, and falls to Gomez, who can't get it forward. Cleared away by Burnley. Again, only as far as Michael Keane, and his pass is a little misplaced towards Coleman, but he can keep it in play. Back into the Everton half with Seamus Coleman again. Michael Keane, the number 5. Again, dribbles forward and plays it to Digne. Back to Godfrey. Over to the makeshift centre-back at the minute, Allen, as he was filling in for Michael Keane, as he's been given the ball here, Michael Keane. Gomez. Keane. Back out wide right to Alex Iwobi. Can he work an early cross? He's going to go for it. It deflects towards the near post, and it's been brought away by Nick Pope in the end, as it was going towards the near post. He could have been caught out, and he stopped it. He stopped that from happening, but it's at the expense of a corner. It's going to be an in-swinging Luca Digne corner. Can this be the moment for Everton? It's put towards the back post where Josh King does get a header on it, but it's gone back to Gomez. To be fair, he's kept it alive well there, Josh King, and Gomez works across towards the back post where Godfrey's there, and it goes all the way for a goal kick. So Godfrey gives a death stare to the linesman, and does he call him a cheat there? Godfrey gave him an absolute death stare and gave him a few pieces of his mind. Did he call him a cheat? I think it was a goal kick. I don't think it came off a Burnley player last. Anyway, we continue, still 2-1 to Burnley. 2 first half goals. Puts them ahead. Well, to be fair, all goals. Jeez, come on. All goals have been in the first half in this game. I think Nick Pope's picked up a book in there. For time wasting. First one of the season. Nick Pope down the Burnley left towards Chris Wood. Can't win the flick on, but it falls towards Rodriguez. It's been cleared away by Allen, but kept alive fantastically by Westwood. Brady. Peters. First time clearance looking for the switch towards McNeil, but it's Digne who heads it forward to Josh King, who holds it up nicely, and he's going to look for a runner for Everton, but there's not much movement, but he has to find Digne. Inside towards Richarlison, stopped by Westwood, but it cannons off his boot further forward for Everton to win the throw, but they're taking it quickly back to the halfway line to Godfrey. Tries to go inside, he does so very nicely. Good dribbling by Godfrey, but the pass isn't at it, and Burnley have it back. McNeil, Lowton, long clearance, and it's going to be a chase between Wood and 2 Everton defenders, but the defenders have come out on top. And it's Virginia to Godfrey. Virginia again, left-footed clearance up the pitch towards Josh King. Can't quite win the header on Tarkowski, but Tarkowski's head has gone to Calvert-Lewin. Gomez, Allen in the centre circle. Forward to Iwobi, takes it on the turn. He's looking forward and looking for a cross. It's come off Josh Brownhill, but it fell back to Iwobi. Finds Coleman, gets it back from Coleman to Iwobi. Shot deflects over to the edge of the box to Digne. Cross off the heel of Ben Mee, cleared by Brady to the edge, and it's been helped on by Ashley Westwood as they survive another attack. So with Michael Keane. Goes over to Godfrey. There's a goal brewing. Is it in the making? Godfrey to Gomez. He's going to look for a cross, is he? No, he's going to go inside to Josh King, and he's going to find Richarlison in the box. Back to goal, so that's the late off to Seamus Coleman. Shot deflects out for a corner. Nick Pope made a dive for it, but in the end it's his defenders who did the saving. A corner it is again for Everton. Nice play from King to find Richarlison. Good hold-up play, and that was definitely aiming towards goal. Was it going in? I don't know, because Tarkowski was also making a knee slide block ahead of Pope, just in case it got past Ben Mee. Digne in swinger. Can we get dramatic drama here? Digne. Oh, no, we won't. Not with corners like that. Straight into the hands of Nick Pope. Good collection there from the goalkeeper. He's played most games under Sean Dyche in his career. 111 appearances for Burnley and Sean Dyche. More games under Sean Dyche than any other coach in his career. Wood can't flick it onto another Burnley player from the Nick Pope clearance, and it's Michael Keane on the edge of the 18-yard box of Everton's to try and bring it forward. It's gone over to Godfrey. It's now Allen. Andre Gomez. Dinks ball out to the left-hand side to find Luca Digne. Gets a cross in, and it's cleared away by James Tarkowski. Up towards Gomez. Rodriguez puts him under pressure, but the Portuguese midfielder keeps it alive. And dinks it out wide left to Digne, straight to his head, who heads it forward and inside towards Josh King, taken over by Richarlison, and once more by Andre Gomez. 2 minutes plus added on time. Allen over to Michael Keane. Iwobi tackled and just about wins it back himself. Works it to Michael Keane, who's bringing it forward and finds Andre Gomez on the edge with a bit of room. Fancies the left-footed strike, goes all the way across, and a goal kick it'll be for Everton to have to put up with now. No corner for them. Shot was dragged and it nearly got onto the end of a on-rushing Calvert-Lewin. He tried to get on the end of it like any striker would, follow all the balls in. Couldn't quite get his foot to it, and it just trickled wide, as this would be a massive 3 points for Burnley, as it would put them 7 points ahead of the drop. Yes, they played a game extra than Fulham and Newcastle, and Brighton have got 2 in hand as well, because Brighton do play later on in this weekend of fixtures. They play Southampton away, I'm pretty sure. So Michael Keane gives away a free kick against Jay Rodriguez. I think there might be about 3 minutes of added on time. Maybe 3 or 4. We've got 45 seconds left of the 90. It'll be Ancelotti's 31st loss in 124 Premier League games as manager. You've got to remember he did win the league with Chelsea in the 2009-10 season. Carlo Ancelotti before leaving Chelsea for PSG, then Real Madrid, then Bayern Munich, and then Napoli. It's a great range of clubs to have managed in his career. Also AC Milan and Juventus. As Brady takes his free kick in the end, and it's an easy collection for Junior. It's a confident one as well. And he rolls it quickly out to the left-hand side to Luca Digne. We've played the 90 minutes. How long's added on? 3 minutes it is. Called it. It's Josh King. Back to Digne on the halfway line. Back over to Godfrey. Burnley are pressing high. Digne. Back again to Godfrey. Right on the edge of the 18-yard box. And he has to go into the box for Junior to get the ball. He's going to look for the ball down the right towards Coleman. Header won by Brady. And it will go out for a throw in for Everton. It's been taken quickly. It's now Iwobi over to Godfrey. They need to be quick about this, Everton, if they want to try and nick a point from the game. It'll be Burnley's second win away at Everton in the Premier League. Gomez into King on the edge of the box. Finds Michael Keane. Looks for the gap for Coleman. What a ball. Coleman crosses it in and it's headed away and out for a corner. He's gone to lift it, Coleman, and I think Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and King, who were charging into the box to try and get on the end of it. I think they wanted it along the ground. Coleman went to dink it in and went to Tarkowski instead of Richarlison as the keeper's up. This would be dramatic on his Premier League debut. It's only his second appearance for Everton. Virginia, and they've both come this season despite being there since 2018. That would be drama if João Virginia could score for Everton. He's gone towards Nick Pope, the goalkeeper, Virginia. Could he even get a tap in? This would be ridiculous if this goes in from Virginia, the goalkeeper. But they've got to try and get it away from Nick Pope as it's Luca Digne. Crosses in towards the near post. Headed away. Richarlison goes down at the near post. But it's Iwobi who can't keep it away from Robbie Brady. But he's got his back to goal, so it allows Virginia to get back to his goal. But it's that a Rabona pass down the line to Jay Rodriguez. That is ridiculous. Rodriguez down the line. Can he get past Godfrey? No, he can't beat him. But Robbie Brady, from a tight space, was able to pull off a Rabona pass down the line. I hope I saw that right, because that was ridiculous. He didn't come to anything in the end as Gomez goes for a switch, and it's Robbie Brady to head away, doing his defensive duties this time, and not the skills. And he can clear away Brady with a volley. Throwing it is, though, as we've got 35 seconds left of the game, and Eric Peters has gone down for Burnley. So that's just going to be time added on for Burnley when they were just nearly there. Despite Burnley not winning at home since the 27th of January, when they played Aston Villa, they've drew their last 5 at home. That's their last win. Their last loss in the league came on the 3rd of February against Manchester City. So they haven't lost in 6 weeks now. Burnley, really impressive. This will be 8 unbeaten as Digne can't quite head on the diagonal switch towards an Everton player. And it's going to be a throw for Burnley right in that corner flag in their right back area as we've played 20 seconds more than the 3 minutes added on, but they've got to allow for a bit more time due to the Eric Peters injury, who is back on his feet, the Dutch left back, formerly off Stoke City. So Matt Lowton throws it down the line, and that's it for Jonathan Moss. Big 3 points for Sean Dyche in the relegation battle. He peels further away from the clubs behind him, the likes of Brighton, Newcastle, Fulham and West Brom. They do stay 15th, but they're now on 33 points. 8 wins in the league this season, and they're adding on to their unbeaten run. It's now 8 unbeaten in the league. Yes, a lot of them being home draws, but it's points. And that's the main thing when it comes to survival. If it's 1 point or 3, they all add up come the end of the season. And this is a big 3 points away at Goodison. They don't usually win too often here in the Premier League. It's only their second win at Goodison Park in now 14 fixtures between the two sides in the Premier League. It's their second away at Goodison. It's their 6th overall against the Toffees, and if they want to be keeping up with the pack for Europe, they've got to sort out their home form. They've lost again. 14 of their wins this season, 9 of them have been away, only 5 at home, and that's 15 points of their 46. So it's a lot of points away from home that they've had to rely on. 2 draws at home as well. So that's 17 points out of their 46 that have been away from home, and they need to try and sort it out as soon as possible, because Tottenham are breathing down their necks, so are Liverpool, so are Arsenal, so are Aston Villa as well. They stay 6th, but a win for Tottenham and a win for Liverpool this weekend will put them above them. Yes, Liverpool would still be above them, but Everton would have a game in hand on them. But Everton would go to 8th on goal difference if Liverpool were to win. But it's not a guarantee they'll win yet because they've got Wolves away. But Burnley, they stay 15th, and they're now on the same points as Southampton, who are above them, in 14th on 33 points, but Southampton do have to play Brighton at home tomorrow, so that's going to be a must-watch for Burnley fans. Could do that being a draw. But for Everton, they'll just need Tottenham to drop points against Arsenal tomorrow. They'll need everyone really to drop points around them if they want to keep up. This includes Leicester as well, who play Sheffield United at home. But in terms of this game, let's not look at the future, but for this game, it's ended Everton 1, Burnley 2. All 3 goals coming within the first half. It's a goalless second half, but that did not mean that the game wasn't entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Started the scoring off with a Chris Wood goal in the 13th minute as Tom Davies gave away possession. Burnley broke with in a convincing... Oh, my days. Let's give up. Oh. In a convincing fashion, they broke away, fell to Chris Wood. Great finish. But what a great finish was Dwight McNeil's. Around 10 minutes later, just over 10 minutes later, drifted from the left to the right, cut onto his left foot. Unbelievable finish. If you can get the highlights as soon as you can, watch that Dwight McNeil goal. But in the 32nd minute, Calvert-Lewin brought back hope for Everton. And they had an hour to try and score another, and they couldn't do so. And they've lost at home to Burnley. Sean Dyche's men have done it. Burnley have won, Everton have lost. And it's all focused now on next week. Another half-5 kick-off for Everton against City at home, as it's an FA Cup quarter-final. What's the score predictions for Man United versus West Ham, Arsenal, Spurs? United, West Ham, I'm going to go 1-1. Arsenal, Spurs, I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. So 1-1 and 2-1. What a game. Burnley are the team to watch in a minute. They're not losing, and they give entertaining games, I must admit. But just before I end the stream and just before you all get off, next commentary, Wednesday, Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. They currently have a 1-goal advantage, an away goal as well, Chelsea. And then next Saturday is the weekend's commentary before I have a week's break on commentaries, or a couple of weeks breaks. That is Bournemouth versus Southampton, 12:15 kick-off. It's an early one. FA Cup quarter-final, Bournemouth versus Southampton. Make sure you're there. Make sure you tell any mates you know who might be those fans of Bournemouth Southampton to get involved. That's next week. And then there's an international break, so I might not do commentaries where I do like all these notes for the games, as you can see, where I tell you everything that goes on. I'll do maybe a watch along instead, so where I basically watch the game and just relax a bit, talk to you more, and just have a kind of a chill vibe to the live stream. I might do that, not a commentary, so look out for them. But that's not next week, that's in 2 weeks' time, the international break. So if you're interested in just watching the game and chatting about it in a chilled environment, then you can come over here. I'll probably do some of the big European games and then maybe an England game as well. So just make sure you look out for that. There's always live streams going about on the channel. But yeah, other than that, that's this stream over. It's Everton 1, Burnley 2. Everton failed to win again at home, struggling to keep their home form. That's a good standard. They're slipping under Ancelotti at home, but they're good enough away. But they need to sort their home form out. But for Burnley, it's 8 unbeaten now in the Premier League. Majority of them have been draws, but they're picking up points. They're moving further away from the drop zone. Can they survive relegation? We'll have to see come after the 38 games have been played. But for Everton, will they? Will they slip out of these European places? We'll have to find out. That's all the drama of the Premier League. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. Be here for Wednesday and next Saturday stream. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.